else has been so key.
What's the combo?
There's nothing.
No. There's no combo with it at all, but they continue to go forward.
Another push into spawn gets denied.
Yeah, 10 falling there. It wasn't off of a fault line. He may have been hit by the Rolling Thunder. Either way, he's dead. Alfie are a little bit weak, but has that lockdown. As you see a punch coming in from the southern side too, and Laz is going to have to get all the kills he can while he can, because they're hot to trot behind him. Sugar Zero falling, Depp left alone. The spike was planted, but FNATIC have so much as far as numbers go, and then the nade at his feet. Way too many targets to deal with, none of them found. Durka with 3 and FNATIC with 11.
FNATIC was actually caught off guard there. Durka thought that nade was going to hold that smoke entirely, and he definitely could have got that spray down.
Yeah.
Where Chronicle would have been a couple seconds late to peek that.
I mean, he dealt damage on both. On both Durka and Boaster. Didn't get either, yeah.
But at this point, Doug, I mean, ZETA needed to start chipping into this before FNATIC started getting some of these power ults online. And at this point, that cycle is well in effect.
Yeah. And
you're in the range where they just need 2 more rounds.
Yeah.
Those are very clear factors towards their success.
Yeah.
But I think overall the scene has worked towards a place where every team is pushing the strategy so deep, the tactics, specifically on a map like this where there's so, I mean, every single orb is accessible and there's 4 of them. It makes this ult game so interesting. FNATIC is excelling at that. And on top of that as well, they're able to work without them. In this case, they're able to deal with the protocols from ZETA. Fast execute coming here. Insta-molly up towards tower. We've seen this so many times on the international stage. Just to get depth, a potential pick on Alfear.
But the alarm about Sarah, and Alfear's got past it. He's tucked behind the wall. He's on the other side of the brim smoke.
Dude, and he knows everything that's going on. This was a fake the entire time.
Yep.
And now they're pinching the 2 players that were actually sending the fake, and they're going to realize real quick what's going on with this plant going down. A good attempt here. But now you see desperation.
I mean, the cost of that fake is so great. They're going to get flawless. I'm really just hoping I don't jinx it at this point.
Agak sedih gue ngeliat ZETA ya.
All good. Alfear gets
Flawless,
FNATIC and another Prime Gaming Flawless comes through, and it was a cool idea on the other side of it. And you're seeing ZETA reach into their playbook a little bit, draw up something different. But
agak kasihan si ZETA ya. Lawan Raja terakhir.
Again, I talked a little bit about how ZETA's approach has been somewhat readable. I don't want to say the entire thing has been. I especially on that defense half, you saw a lot of FNATIC struggling with the way that they were playing given the situation. But here, right out of the timeout, going for a fake, it's not going to catch this team off guard.
No.
A team that checks, again, over and over. They're just like, okay, has this happened? No. All right, let's go for this. Right? The reads are kind of just ingrained within the strat book from FNATIC on the get-go.
Very calm 21-7 from Alfear, by the way. As his team finds himself 1 round away from taking a series lead. You see the trap, Laz is certainly dead.
I mean, again, that's such good prep from FNATIC.
There's more. Durka. Second satchel connects, and Alfear
Dah
punches from
gigi
the
guys.
other side. I mean, they were done. Unless Depp can pull off an insane, what's that, an ace just to keep the map alive?
Yeah, 1v5.
He's gotten 2.
And look, FNATIC slowed it down. They don't want to give it to him.
No, I wouldn't either.
I mean, just give it to him for content, no?
I don't think they want to have anything to do with it. Not going to happen. 13-5 in favor of FNATIC, and I mean, really, as much as you could possibly ask for. What an opener for a team that's currently pushing to win the Triple Crown for the first time in Valorant history. To look that clean at the beginning of a tournament. Boy, they just put the world on notice. If they weren't there already, that's a hell of a start.
That's a casual map 1 win here for their opener. And I think something that we've seen actually, oh my goodness, they almost fell off the stage. I think something we've seen from FNATIC is, you know, in Tokyo, they had an insta-birth to the playoffs. They had an insta way to fight.
NRG lawan Blibli Gaming kalah NRG.
What everybody else has to deal with. You were kind of
What
wondering,
the
okay,
heck?
is there, you know, are they going to experience the same thing? You know, the
NRG kalah
you have in some of
2-0.
these group stages from some of the best teams in the world.
Sure.
Not at all.
No, not even close. I mean, they showed no signs of being sluggish or anything like that. Boaster almost hits an ace in the second round of the game. I mean, that's when FNATIC is in their best form, is when they're fragging the way that they are, when they look as good individually, mechanically, from a strategical perspective as they do, and they're laughing about it. They're having fun with it.
Absolutely.
That's as bad as it gets.
Oh, and you know we're gonna
Oke,
have fun
let me
with the next
guess.
map too.
Yeah.
Haven,
Wazi,
Dirk on
WHZ
Jet for the
bukan
first time
clutchnya.
since lock-in.
MVP-nya
Or,
WHZ
you know,
bukan.
the EMEA split. Yeah, exactly. That's the type of thing that I've been waiting for so long. So quite excited to see what comes up next.
Wazi bukan
Looked rough for
yang clutch.
ZETA, but maybe, somehow, even in the face of what you were just describing of Durka on Jet, maybe they
Like
manage to
Biang.
find their way through that. Maybe they find a way to get us to the
Oh,
third map.
si
We'll find out on the
Biang.
other side of this break. We'll be right back.
What the heck, bro? Oh my god. Wah, gila sih. Nggak ngerti gue. Sangat unexpected sih. Yang menang Blibli Gaming 2-0. Gila, ini tim Cina emang mengerikan kan. Gue udah bilang guys, Blibli Gaming tuh agak-agak mengerikan coy. Tapi nggak apa-apa. Jadinya sekarang ada 4 tim Asia ya. Blibli, Edward, BRX. Let's go lah. Main sekali streamingnya jam 5:30 sore. Karena gue semalam tidurnya jam 11 mon. Jadi gue emang udah planning mau bangun pagi. Gue ngerasa emang NRG aimingnya udah berkurang sih. Wah. Tapi gue nggak nyangka NRG 02 coy. It's actually insane though. Kalau ZETA FNATIC sih gue udah kinda expect FNATIC menang 2-0 sih. Ya, gue kinda expect ini loh, gue nggak expect ini loh. 13-8 gila. EG sama FUT jam berapa? Kelar ini, kelar FNATIC lawan ZETA, EG lawan FUT. Harusnya kalau dari jadwal jam 8, cuma kalau misalnya ini FNATIC menang lagi 2-0 jam 6.15 kayak kemarin juga udah tanding sih dia. Devin baru bangun, aku udah baru mau tidur. Ya udah tidur sekali. Kalau aiming bang, 4 pemain BLG nyala semua, yang bisa nge-clutch. Ya, hebat nih. Hebat. Mungkin karena baru ketemu sekarang jadi NRG nggak ada gambaran pemain beli. Enggak sih, sebenarnya kalau buat menurut gua kalau untuk aiming harusnya gak ada kata karena baru lawan. Kalau kalah aiming ya kalah aiming. Cuma mungkin kalau untuk playstyle iya. Kalau tadi ada yang bilang ada reforsinya Cina tuh si Biang, ya itu cukup menggagetkan sih. Dari NRG sendiri Som doang yang bisa nembak. Dep udah minum, udah. Tadi kan gue udah ke toilet dulu, udah minum air putih dulu. Sana masih gelap, masih lah, orang masih 5:30 pagi. Pagi Antonius. Wah, gue jadi penasaran gamenya. Gue penasaran sama gamenya NRG tadi, jadinya pengen lihat gue highlightnya nanti. Gila. Si Wahzi itu judge-nya ngeri. Lah, si Wahzi atau Biang yang jadi reforsi Cina? Setahu gua pokoknya waktu kualifikasi China buat champion, Wahzi tuh nyala banget. Jadi the next Kengkeng dia bilang. Wahzi cosplay reforsi. Oh. Install round di split round 2 aja pakai shorty kayaknya 3 atau 2. Oh. Ntar gue mau lihat highlightnya lah. Harusnya udah ada kan highlightnya ini. NRG versus di highlight Bilibili. Oh, ini ada highlight nih. Ada highlight nih, 25 menit. Ntar gue mau nonton. Berapa skor ininya ya? Gue mau lihat. Nggak. Gue bisa lihat skornya nggak sih? Gue gak bisa lihat skornya lagi. Dari sini gak bisa lihat skornya. Pengen. Gue mau ngeliat ACS gitu loh.
Maybe try and find some value.
Oh my god, Wahzi 396 315 bro. Oh my goodness gracious grace. First skill 8. Tiga 115. ACS-nya udah mau 400. Jesus Christ bro. Wih, thank you Mamon 5 giftednya Mamon. Kamsahamnida, kamsahamnida. Oh my goodness. Victor, Finesse, Ardis, Som, Crashes. Itu kan yang pertama. Yang kedua, ini dari VLR.gg ya. Champions event. Champions Tour. Nah, aku mau ngeliat ininya padahal. Valorant Champion. Lotus 12-14. Biang tuh kan Biang Wahzi kan. Wah, ini gila sih. Gue bisa tambahin poin kok. Eh, 125. Kalau udah ada tapi, gue nggak tahu udah ada apa belum. Gue aja lupa cara tambahin poin komen kayak gimana. Mencegah keretanya pepes. Bye Mon, selamat bekerja. Semangat. Menarik nih.
Step up for this Haven match.
The chamber and Killjoy, here we go!
Yeah, it's going to be this double sentinel comp for Zeta Division.
Killjoy di
I love
Heaven
Laz on the
wajib.
chamber, but I thought FNATIC did a great job of applying so much pressure to him, not allowing him to be comfortable on the defensive fracture. I expect that to continue
So
again
far,
here with this double initiator
Ini
comp for
FNATIC
FNATIC.
komnya udah kayak
Yeah, and you see the bringing out
udah kayak
Sky on
tim gua kemarin.
the Sky on Crow. Excuse me, a little bit of a wordful there.
Gila, 80% win rate-nya di Heaven.
Solo initiator here, so they're going with the double sentinel. They're complementing this with
Zeta.
Sky on Crow.
Chamber
and just trying to
banget nih,
enable
Zet.
these guys to get these first picks.
Both these controller agents as well picking into the Aster. We see a lot of back and forth depending on comfort on this map, but Boaster has always favored that, and Sugar Zero, when they've made runs happen before, it's when he's been on this agent. He can be so good as a side anchor.
Oh, well, we got the Durka Jet and Leo
Lihat
Sober
preskon
finally on the same
NRG
map.
abis
Yeah,
match
I can't
semuanya
wait to jump
depresi.
into map 2 and hand this back to your casters, Doug and Vola.
Thank you so much, Insu. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how this plays out as well, Balla, because, you know, we also saw Laz on Chamber, and while it found some success on Fracture, this is a different beast, man. You've got the Jet, you've got really good art, and you've also got the Sova for Leo that Yinsu was talking about.
Oh, that's a breach arm. I thought it was a Band-Aid next to
A
Crown.
Band-Aid. I think he's just getting beat up by Boaster.
That's awesome. Yeah, this is so interesting. Again, I mean, to go on the same point.
Karena
Leo,
Laz
Durka,
tanpa chamber cuma abang
back to
biasa
those
main
roles that we
Valorant,
love
kocak
so
lu.
much. The thing that gets me about FNATIC is they don't need to change anything, man. They've been running the same comps on so many maps for so
Oh
long.
my
And
God.
meanwhile, everybody's trying to innovate. We've got KJ Chamber on the other side here.
FNATIC main zona nyaman.
I bet they've got past it. Dude, they thought they had a trap on him. They thought they had him stuck. But it was just a bit late.
Gila, bagus banget
The
trap.
one who's going to establish his presence.
Oh my goodness, how deep Boaster's gotten too. That's crazy.
And I don't know that Depp knows. They're so unaware. Yeah, they've taken
Gila.
care of Durka, but as you mentioned, Boaster's behind enemy
Ah,
lines, and
GG
there's no
bos,
one to
udah
check him.
bos.
Yeah, and this is going to be the problem here. You need to get stalled
Pagi Valkro.
if you're going to go for a composition like this.
Ya,
where you have
sisa
double
Laz
sentinel,
sendirian.
where you're going for a Gravwell nade inside of A lobby with the majority of your players.
Yeah.
Laz is going to be, I mean, if FNATIC gets these hits off, he's going to be rotating in this situation so frequently.
Yeah, this won't be fun. He's going to find himself in that position a lot.
GG
Even go
boy.
back to the conversation
GG
we were
boy.
having around FNATIC and how they
GG
don't really
boy.
have to change their comps. And, you know, oftentimes when you see a team at the top, especially in a
Yeah,
game like
yes.
Valorant that's as volatile as it is,
Yeah.
you go, oh, the
Agak
rest of the
sedih
pack is
Zeta
hot to
game
trot,
pertama
right? Like
ketemunya
they're
langsung raja
nipping at your
terakhir
heels,
emang.
they're catching
Cuma
up
ya
to you.
hidup guys
Or
ya.
it feels like, I don't think I've ever called you that on a broadcast before. I'm so sorry. It feels like they're so far ahead that they don't really have to worry about that quite yet. It just seems like there's such a big gap that they're tweaking the small things in their game.
No, for sure. I mean, look at different teams like Loud, for example, the Harbor Viper lovers.
Very good.
Moving away from that, right, to try to find an edge in the meta instead. FNATIC are just improving on the comps that they play so often. I mean, this is a classic C hit we've seen from them over and over. And at this point, yeah, they can start not even showing some of the new stuff that they've been working on.
Yeah, and you know there's something there, right? You know the brain trust of Mini and Poster and everyone else on that staff.
Dikasih
Anders
masuk
too
free
just
gitu.
recently joined staff again for this run. You know they have stuff prepped, but if you don't have to show it, that's the most ideal of situations.
Nah, ini kok feeling gua fast game ya guys ya.
Favor of FNATIC here. So you got 3 members from ZETA who are posted up in garage, going to try to pop out,
Tumpah.
try to find some space. Crow does have a
Wah,
flash.
gila.
Maybe you pop out through that or just die to the snipe. It seems like that's what their
Keripik
goal
kentang
is here.
asli.
It's just using his gun as a molly there through that smoke. They can't get through garage at all. Remember on Fractures, Zeta did a pretty decent job on one of the anti-ecos, not the one where Boaster almost aced.
The other one.
Yeah.
Tetap mati tiga-tiganya.
And here,
Padahal mau ngambil
4
Vandal.
of their players alive. That usually isn't even a big deal, but
Yeah.
that's where the snowball starts.
Yep.
That's where you get the same start you
Yeah,
got on
FNATIC
Fracture.
sih.
What was it, like 6-0?
6-0, yeah.
Berat sih
Before
FNATIC.
Zeta got their first round?
Mereka tuh udah
Yeah, it
hafal
starts in
mekanisme
situations
banget
like
cuy.
this.
Mereka
Take a look at
cepet
the buy
banget
for FNATIC.
baca
3
trik
rifles,
lawan.
4 with the Bulldog, and then Boaster's Marshall. Oh, man. Never mind.
Las
Actually, always
dan las aja sih. Basically Zeta tuh gampang dibaca sama FNATIC.
Goes for a little bit of an upgrade, usually a Bulldog, something like that, but they shuffle
Ayo dong Zeta, jangan gampang dibaca gitu.
They gave the Bulldog to Poster and left the rifle in the hands of Leo.
Yeah. Just leader things. Ooh, the smoke miss. Dirk is normally supposed to be dashing up into that. I'm wondering if it's a miss or intentional. But that's the classic
Dikasih
Dirk
masuk
They're gonna
lagi.
tap the
Ini
plant
emang
and
konsepnya lu
re-rotate through
retake
garage.
semua ya.
This is real old stuff here from FNATIC.
Lu
Dev
ngasih
is in
point
so much
planting
trouble, man.
too
Yeah, he's got
easy gitu
everybody
loh.
on both sides right now.
And nobody
Mati dah.
around him.
Mati dah.
He's done well to get the first. Aftershocks can clear him out. He somehow gets a second as Boaster's timing.
Masalahnya,
Yeah, just a bit.
masalahnya plannya di C bos. Sugar Zero nge-whiff.
The potential of a bonus.
I mean, when did Boaster had the Ferrari peak to his arsenal? Come on, man.
We're talking about them getting better, right? Little things like that. Dirk is smoked off. Tucked behind the Astra smoke. Boaster falls. Leo falls too. It's going to be Dirk in a 1v3 if he wants to win this round. And he's
Nice.
not going to pull it off. Laz is on the swing. Zeta on the board.
Ayo,
And
Zeta.
notably earlier than they
Tapi
were on
mohon maaf
Fracture.
Zeta,
Absolutely.
ini masih
Quickly
bonus
in the
round
anti
Zeta.
bonus. And they succeeded at that on
Chamber
that second
bagus
half
kan
of
di map
Fracture,
ini,
but
telenya kayak predictable banget. Enggak sih,
they did lose quite a
Chamber
bit here. Again, FNATIC's gonna
Chamber
easily
gak
be able
gitu
to buy
meta.
out.
Chamber tuh udah gak
And
gitu,
here's where,
belum meta
the
lagi
trouble
sebenarnya.
started for FNATIC. The aftershock
Gila,
is being used when Boaster's
gila.
basically about to get that.
Leo
What if that
udah
actually
lagi di
slowed him
under
down?
pressure
But
aja
either
ngebunuh
way,
2 loh, ngeri banget. Dan dia masih
not quite
pakai
the round how FNATIC drew
masih
it up.
pakai
Remember, that started from
apa itu
two
nama senjatanya?
different
Lupa gua.
instances of
Kayak
FNATIC
Alpha
showing
aja ya,
something.
kalau Leo.
They started with that B pop and then going into garage after tapping the spike and getting out util from Zeta.
gila.
Very well
Oh
handled.
my god.
That dart, almost got a ping off. That would have just
Gila.
killed them both.
Durka did
Bagus
get past some of that
banget
early
itu
utility and
stunnya.
was dumped into main.
Now look at this TP as well from Laz. Starting to see some of the tech come out.
Yeah.
And Boaster recalls the star, and that gives Laz the room to get out of there.
Oh, I think he saw it.
Lihat
I think
itu
he saw
lihat.
him maybe on the second or third glance back, but the recalled start to suggest that Durka's passed, but they left him here.
Again, allows Laz to reposition though. That information
Rex
that he
kapan
was
main?
on
Besok
is
jam 2
long
pagi.
gone. And FNATIC getting out of here. Durka with the lurk. It's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out.
Stunnya
50
kayak Xtreem
seconds
snipe lu
still
kemarin.
for
Iya
FNATIC
gila.
to make a play. Is
Insane
Durka gonna be the
gameplay.
guy, or is it somewhere else on the map right now?
Wah, Derke nge-lurking gini,
Just
bos.
remove the trip.
That was from up close, right?
Yeah.
Down
Wah, mainnya
sewers.
slow banget.
A potential fake
Tapi ini
going on right now.
ini
Durka
tipikal
might try to
FNATIC
catch
sih.
Laz.
Mereka mainnya tuh nunggu
Bring stars on
info.
C.
Look
The
at
drone
that.
as well, the stun coming through from
30
Chronicle.
seconds left.
It's not pulling everybody though.
No, but it did have
Lu
them get
lihat.
off of their initial
Lu
positions.
lihat
10
Derke.
might be the only one who
Waduh.
didn't move, and my goodness, he's got a
Waduh.
judge on the other side of this box.
Laz came backside
Waduh.
too, so this hold is still good from
I mean,
Zeta.
the judge might stop it by itself.
Nice trade.
Just one.
Nice trade,
13 seconds left. The spike making its way, and you're right. Laz
Derke
has
sabar
not
banget,
moved.
Oh, the
bos.
flash, team
He's still
flash.
playing on side. Spike down just
Planted.
in the nick of time.
Planted.
If he got that kill, it would have ended the round. And now instead, they have post-plant positions to play from.
You wonder here if that flash had gone a different way, what position we'd be in, but FNATIC with the advantage. Time on their side.
Gonna get the
Laz has
aftershock
gotten
off,
it
yes.
half. Yeah, the aftershock's gonna pull him
Dapat
off.
setengah, dapat setengah.
Chronicle has fallen. 3v2 in favor of ZETA. Alfir and Leo still up, still
Nice.
trying to make something
Nice,
happen, but it's
Zeta,
Laz who cleans it up.
nice. Ayo Z,
ZETA ties it too.
buktikan Z kekuatan Jepang Z.
And this is the first round all series that I really think ZETA had a good read on the
Besok bisa
situation the
jam 2
entire
pagi
time.
nih. Enggak.
That's twice now, I would
Kalau
say,
gue mau
actually.
jam 2 pagi, gue udah
Handling
mesti
that
tidur
B
dari
fake
jam
into the
8
C hit
malam.
last round, and now this
Nggak
C fake
makasih.
and this A hit.
Wow.
FNATIC throwing it all at them. And despite some mistakes there from ZETA, I mean, it would have been round over if that team flash didn't come through from heaven on the Laz.
Yep.
He still makes it work, though. And nobody from FNATIC following up because there's just not that many bodies in that A hit since everybody else is on the rest of the map. And the first eco for FNATIC.
Roket Pasifik
All
ada
series
4
long.
It's crazy to say.
plus
And
3
it's still
Cina.
kinda strong, too.
Jadi
There's
total
weapons here.
sebenarnya
There's a
Asianya
vandal for
7.
Leo.
Yeah, there's fight behind this one.
Oh.
Showstopper from 10. Durka
he's dead
tries to
anyway.
get up top. No way!
Oh my
you
god,
kidding me?
Derke, you insane bitch.
How does he dodge that?
Oh my god.
I mean, 10 still got
Durka.
his.
That thing must have gone through the door, not done any damage to him at all.
Oh my god.
And it's crazy that nobody else died there.
Oh my god.
You thought for sure full attention was on Durka. Instead, now we're in such a weird situation. At least 10 was able to get Boaster with the nade as he
Hijuk
felt it his
pakai
share.
updraft coy. Ayo Leo,
Fnatic
gimana
without
cara
their
lo
leader
menang?
right now.
Aku mau
Gonna
lihat.
just post up and hit this A side
Nah,
anyways.
4v4 lu,
No
udah gak ada
smokes.
smoker.
Game's easier this way to call from, right? When you're dead. Just watching.
Angel
see.
method doesn't apply to everybody here.
We'll see if that's the case in this round. Pro spamming through the smokes. Durka's about to pop out on the other side. Finds one with the Guardian. Padep is there on the counter.
I mean, that space for this plant to go down, that space for the Rolling Thunder, but they've got the lockdown to fall into. And there's no more tools here to break that, so. Oh, and they're falling into Laz. Oh, this is dangerous.
Yeah, they've got to go all the way out. I mean, there's a little bit of an angle.
And the Gravo coming in too. Leo's in trouble.
Oh, well, I didn't know if he'd expect the second, but the bait of the Sheriff thrown in his lap is going to give it away.
Alvajer.
Sugar Zero tried getting it to half, wasn't able to stick through. Leo's
GG.
dropped. It's all into Alpha, and he was stuck
Nice
the
one.
entire
Nice one, Laz.
time.
Nice one.
Do have to say, though, despite the fact that ZETA win this
Nice.
round, they had to spend some key ults there that would have been
Yeah.
crucial against FNATIC's guns.
Nice.
Either way,
Apa-apa.
though,
Gak penting ult,
I think
yang penting
FNATIC had a
menang round.
massive chance there, so ZETA in damage control is okay. Yeah, it did go through that
Yeah.
door.
That's just crazy.
But
Nice flank,
everything
nice
else
flank.
working out for them.
Untung gak nge-whiff
I
lu
mean, that
Laz.
lockdown comes in at the perfect time, and it pushes them right into Laz's flank. Who expects the flanking chamber with the tour de force?
The classic.
Big stack of ults here, though, from FNATIC. And they're going for the C hit instantly. Look at this. All grouped up, ready to go.
Last spot and up.
Ayo Derke.
Got the money for it, but Fnatic are
Oh,
headed
nice
all towards
flash,
B. You're right,
man.
Dirk was on the dash out. Blades online.
Oh,
and he's
nice,
instantly
Zed.
dropped. I mean,
Nice,
Dep just
Zeta.
peeked out from behind
Nice
that
dash,
smoke with
Dep.
nothing
Nice, Dep.
behind it.
Derke
It's
gak
crazy
nengok,
to me that they're
gak nengok
executing
belakang
that without
karena
the stun from
diasumsikan dia udah
Chronicle.
di smoke sih.
He's able to use it after he's out.
You are
Cosmic
divided.
Divide's going to allow them to get off site.
Oh. On that Rolling Thunder. Surprised they invested it as early as they did, but push ZETA back. Push them
I
behind
need
that
to
Cosmic
see-
Divide once more.
The Sugar Zero, he
Oh,
just got a
udah.
smoke back so they could smoke off the spike here. This is
Udah
still going to be
long semua,
really
coy.
dangerous
Yeah,
for
but-
FNATIC. They all fell off except for Alfir.
You've got Leo with the Hunter's Fury. You've got Boaster who just put a star on the spike too.
They're going to let him get to half here?
No,
He got off.
just barely.
Just got pulled.
A dart. Leo with the Hunter's Fury, as we mentioned, he had a shock to, and
The
Alvier
flag!
was on the pinch. He
Oh,
gets
no!
two. He gets the third. Leo gets the last, and that's a round for Fnatic.
banget.
And look at the Sentinel utility right now.
Oh my-
You see, the alarm
Lu
on the
lihat-
garage.
lu
There's
lihat
a
post
Shrek
plan-nya.
in garage, and there's a turret
3 orang
in
di
B.
long, 1
Alfir's
orang
able to
nge-flank
dodge
masuk
it all
garage.
As the KJ's the first
Masuk ke
pick.
CT.
Dep fell instantly.
Di ulti sama
situation.
Sova, Biar mereka ketrek ke kiri ke arah garage ditungguin dari CT sama Alfajer. Oh
Avoid the
my
turret that's
god.
not active.
Oh my god.
And find the one place
What
where he can
the
sneak his way
hell,
through.
bro?
That's ridiculous. It's the first time I'm really coming to terms with the fact that Det right now has been the guy who's been playing Jet for ZETA
Jesus Christ.
throughout Pacific, throughout LCQ as well. And he's not unfamiliar with the KJ role, but such a shift from ZETA since LCQ.
What do they have here? See ZETA with this light buy, a Bulldog and a Stinger. 10 trying to hold him back with the
100% cemis sekali. Apa itu cemis?
Slims the net. Seems like they're going to want to regress. Meanwhile, ZETA are taking the space that's been afforded to them, that's been allowed to them mid.
And Alfir,
Watching here.
key timing there. He just pulled away his turret right as they walk down. So you could put it. Is he really going to invest lockdown here?
He's considering it.
Rekor
See the dart,
80%
you see
win
the
rate
flash,
emang nggak
and then
bohong
to
bang.
conceal
Iya
the
cuy.
info gathering tool
Emang
that's
nggak
there.
bohong
The
cuy.
alarm bot
Real
takes him
cuy.
away.
Oh,
They're going to turn and they're going to
Ooh,
fight.
nice
But
Zed.
Leo's the first to fall.
Nice Zed,
I mean,
nice.
they've bit off perhaps a bit too much here, but they continue to trample forward. Durka caught
Nice,
looking
nice.
the wrong way, creating so much space for ZETA to take.
Nice banget,
But
Ten.
they're resetting. They're
Meskipun
taking a
tipis.
step back.
All coming in from spawn now. And that's uncertainty, although Alfir did get that turret up, so they kind of know what's going on in this situation.
I like this from ZETA, though. They took a step back to
Aduh,
allow Crew to
aduh,
heal him
Boster.
all the way back up and take the fight once more.
Aduh mati dah
But is that
bosor
going
dah.
to be enough?
Oh enggak loh.
Temp has already fallen. Oh my gosh, it's not.
Oh my god.
10's going to have to 1v3 this to win the round. And with 20 HP, I just don't know how he does.
Aduh,
So
ngebul
well
kan.
done from Boaster.
I mean, look at those smokes, man.
Oh my god.
Paving his way out and paving his way right back in. You see him
Mati
creeping
dah.
on the other side of his smoke.
Oh,
Hands
nice.
on the tap. He was wise to it, but it's not gotten to half yet. He still has so much he needs to do. It's just a bait. It's just a fake. It's going to buy some time. No idea where
Dia
Alfir was.
overthinking
at the
jaganya
round
di
for
long,
Fnatic.
ternyata
And that's
jaganya
tough
di
to read
shorts. Well played.
As the final player, when you see Boaster put both smokes down and continue to play in them,
Well played,
you can
well
tell
played.
he's. If you're the last player from ZETA there, you're not really quite sure how the rest
Bikin
of the players are
overthinking
playing
anak
against
orang,
him
eh.
from long, given how Boaster's scared to leave short.
Overthinking long itu.
It's crazy to me. He's just fighting right now.
Boaster
Gets that
sih
double
smoke-nya bagus
tap
banget
right
sih.
here on the Chrome and Laz.
Karena dipikir Boaster dari arah short kan.
And the thing
Jadi
is, he has
ya masa
two
dua-duanya
stars
short,
there.
pasti ada
Nothing to
satu yang
smoke.
long.
He's
Apalagi
happy
di
to
long
take those engagements against the
ada
light buy of ZETA.
turret. Jadi dipikir di long
Spacing
nih.
from ZETA there wasn't
Ternyata
great
di
either.
short, bos.
That's what happens when you're calling audibles to retake after going for, what was it, a quadruple flank in the mid round.
Yeah.
Lagi
Split coming
Mario.
in here,
Aku
avoiding
sarapan
the
dulu.
out blast
Siap.
as well.
Dukung siapa di turni kali
There's
ini?
really no one here, at least
Tim-tim
instantly. Durka
Asia
gets
semua
pinned
selalu
through
gue
the wall,
dukung
but there's
ya,
no one
pokoknya.
playing on site. ZETA are ready to pounce, so they've already rotated. Everyone with the exception
Oh
of Laz.
nice, Alfire.
They're not going to flood.
Yeah, Alfie are active there. They can't
ZETA
flood,
nih
given
gue
that
liat-liat
there's so
sering
much
banget
pressure on
ngasih
this
free
space
side
right here
gitu
that
loh.
they're using that Trailblazer back
Mereka
in through.
konsepnya retake.
This is a
katanya.
spam game, and
What?
Alfie's just winning everything.
Alfire.
He's just that good.
Oh my god, Alfire. Nggak jelas loh.
They're going to try to pop through this. But they have to deal with the dart first. Cleared out. Alfir once again on the
ZETA
flank.
mau
Timing of it's going to be everything, but the truth is,
Mau
I don't know if
coba-
ZETA are going to be able to really find enough space to get out onto the site for the flank to even matter.
mendingan lu
And even if they
saving,
do, they're
mendingan lu
pushing right into the teeth of
saving.
Fnatic. Into everything they
Duh,
have set up.
patah
Yeah,
tuh.
Laz gets one is a
Tututnya patah, euy.
complimentary
Awas.
gift, I guess.
He's
Awas.
behind him.
Laz is ready for it. Oh, he was so close. Does he push? Does he dare swing out? Yes, he does. Off of the
Nice
flash
flash.
from Chronicle. The op
Flash.
is down.
That flash is through B into their spawn. It's just ridiculous from Chronicle and Alpha. Yeah.
Gila. Flashnya.
That synergy is insane.
Oh my god, flashnya bagus banget.
This is crazy
Chronicle,
because
ya
Alfir
Allah. Gue
twice
mesti
there,
belajar
he's
flashnya dia nih.
Trying to spam
Bridge di Heaven
through garage
emang
that
gila
first point.
sih.
One of the kills actually went for Sugar Zero on that engagement. I think it was actually favored for the ZETA players. But then he's
Flashnya
hidden behind the box, they know he is,
Chronicle
and
tuh
he
gila
still gets the
banget,
kill.
babik banget.
What can you do? It's the Tokyo form from Alfia where it's like, oh, this guy, he just runs through smokes and kills two as Cypher.
Insane, bro.
Yeah, okay.
So
Let him have
insane.
it.
I don't remember exactly what his final stat line was on the other side of Fracture, but he's already looking to replicate that.
Yep.
As ZETA call a timeout, the Sentinel for Fnatic, 10-3 on the attacking side of Haven, no less. I mean, you expect him to have big numbers performance on the defensive side, given his kid, given his role, but he's just fragging.
Yeah. I think you said it was a quiet, like 20 bomb or something like that on
Yeah.
Fracture at some point during that game. This one doesn't feel like that anymore.
No,
All right,
no,
there's
not at all.
clear, memorable moments, and I think they've actually needed it here because ZETA's putting up a much better fight than on Fracture. I think we're still thinking about that narrative that the desk was talking about where 10 didn't get any of those initial first kills on Fracture. 0-6 on that one as the Neon.
It's a brutal stat line.
He's definitely much better on the Rays. His form at LCQ was crazy. He was so good individually. It's just the decision-making lacking for him. We'll see if he can step it up.
This is just a headhunter. What?
I'm curious how Durka did that jump because he was super high and he still got taken out.
Halo
I think he
po.
jumped off the little hay bale.
Menang
It looked like it hit
Billy
him in the
Gaming,
shoulder.
Billy Gaming Furin. Menang 2-0.
Chamber things.
Yeah, I guess. I was concerned too. I mean, Laz was by himself, and yeah, he had the TP to get out, but yeah, I guess that's exactly what he needed. That was all he really
Las jadinya nggak beli armor cuy.
had in that instance.
Gara-gara nggak ada duit demi
Meanwhile, for
beli
FNATIC, you see him posted
Headhunter.
up right now.
Just beautiful from
Yep.
Alfier. It doesn't actually take it down though.
Ah,
'Cause it's on top of the box.
mati kan.
Yeah, but I was wondering too, they were expecting aggression from Long, and that's where you see Alfier getting a little bit of it, but it was actually Chronicle who was waiting for that, waiting for Laz to take that space, and it never came.
Ayo Sugar Zero.
I mean, when you get so much.
Chronicle nih, si Brace annoying ini nih.
That for free.
Waduh,
You're easily picking off rotates. I'm surprised Sugar Zero's not placing down stars there. But he has so many already pre-placed, so you can't really dynamically help.
waduh,
Here's the grab ball,
untung
though.
nggak kena
Remember, ZETA on this
tarikannya
light
Astra
here,
loh.
and you've got them already beginning to crumble. Sugar Zero's the only one on the other side of double door,
This
but they've
smoke.
already lost C.
This smoke, are they going to check
Sugar
it?
Zero.
It's so sus.
Oh no.
Oh
You're
my
absolutely right, it was.
god.
But now it's up,
Well
now they
played.
know.
Uduh.
And this may be pulled off. Sugar Zero and Def are the only ones up, and they are. They're going to
Nice.
pull it off with a light buy. With
Nice.
less than ideal weaponry, a MasterCard
Nice.
Thrifty to come
Gila,
through
itu
for
ronde
ZETA.
mahal banget buat Fnatic.
I mean, just
Ayo,
genius
Zeta, kau
from
pasti
Sugar
bisa.
Zero. That's the type of thing
Kau pasti bisa Zeta, kau
that
pasti
we
bisa.
know and love from this guy
yakin
on the
kau pasti
international
bisa.
stage.
Let's
So
go.
often you see plays like that. I
Thrifty.
mean, I call it sus because I knew what's going
Hi,
on.
Silver
But
May.
that's actually just a wow.
What?
This is a pretty normal smoke on Garage,
Dude,
actually.
You know what's crazy too is they spammed it. They checked him.
Yeah. Just unlucky.
That's just so frustrating as a player.
And they've kept this game very close. We're into the next round already. Nade, Gravwell going through a lobby.
No one there.
And we're going fast for that Durka pop on B.
Uduh,
It's a
uduh,
classic
uduh.
for FNATIC. But they've never actually gotten the plant down on B. And
No.
it looks like for once it actually would have worked out.
Oh, last nge-whiff. Last offside, last
Yep.
nge-whiff. Last offside, last
Mentioned it.
nge-whiff.
He's in form.
Last offside, last
Man, is he in
nge-whiff.
form. Those Seekers are going to be pulling in right behind them, but FNATIC should have a lot of room to work on C.
And they took a lot of time to clear Durka there,
Fire
but still
plan
quickly
C
doing it
free.
before the spike goes down. So, Razor to clear, actually, to try to find Durka. Instead,
Wait,
they're
there are
falling
two.
off site.
Yeah, there are still two on site, but it was blind. They had no idea. I don't know that you're expecting both of them up here on the other side of the Cosmic Divide where you are, where you're posted up. But 10 was, he was ready.
Ayo Z.
It's all down to Alfier and Leo, and
Oh
they're
my
investing everything into this.
Lah,
on the
kenapa
other side of
nge-push?
the wall, Alfier close, and
Kenapa
Leo
nge-push?
dropped as well.
Alfier
10.3
kenapa
and
keluar
Zeta
dari
gonna tie
wall?
us up.
Ya, sayang
What an
banget.
interesting decision, but
Kenapa dia
I mean,
keluar? Kan lu
crazy
pasang
mind games
ulti.
going on there with the ults. I mean,
Nice try lah.
FNATIC already expecting it. That's why they have two players on site still. That's why Chronicle and Bosa are posted up backside, knowing they can't play full retake from long, or post plant
Nice
from
one
long.
Zeta.
And it hurts them though,
Lagi Venesia.
because the Razor comes through and then you really don't have the tools if you lose those fights backside.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of all in there.
Ayo
So
Fnatic
Alfier
blunder.
took a pretty
Blunder
creative
terus
way
biar
to
Zeta
try to
menang.
challenge, but not quite enough. Also credit to Leo as well. And Zeta
Air fire,
air
air fryer.
through that wall so fast and
Alfier,
proactively.
Alfier. Tadi dia pasang ulti udah bagus dia keluar dari ulti Astranya. Capek
Certainly
banget.
not what I was expecting to say given the situation, but Sugar Zero once
Waduh,
again playing
Sugar
in the
Zero
smokes, and
terkena
this time
through the
Leo's not
smokes.
missing that spam.
I mean, he's so good. They got the lockdown out with 1:30 on the clock.
I mean, so far ahead of schedule. Such a reactive pull of the trigger from ZETA.
I mean, they definitely didn't want that spike to go down. They didn't want to retake. They didn't have the tools for it, I guess, in this instance. They've been relying a lot on some ults when they actually win those C retakes. But not all the time. And the Durkapop still looks active. Look at this ball.
Takut spike-nya udah di tap. Oh iya,
He doesn't have the dash or updraft.
Benar,
Because he already
benar.
went for that C execute, so...
Dia takut
Not
spike-nya
actually
udah
gonna
di
be
tap
used,
ya, benar. Gue lupa kalau
And deny the
misalnya
plan still.
wallnya Astra
idea,
tuh
nonetheless.
bikin conge, nggak bisa denger apa-apa di sebelah.
Fault line to clears for Durka to fight, take
Makes
some
sense,
space.
makes sense.
Oh,
The
that's-
teleport cleared out.
That's interesting. That teleport should tell you exactly what Laz is doing, so Alfear should be ready for this peak.
Expecting some aggression from
Chronicle
C-Lane.
punya ulti nih.
Meanwhile, Depp is going to try to take some space through double doors and look at Alpha. In such a good spot. In a position to spoil.
3, 2, 1.
While 10
Mati.
creeps forward, and there it is. There's the spoiler play. They're going to invest Rolling
Tiga.
Thunder, and it doesn't seem like they're going to push behind it because they don't really have to.
Yeah.
3,
I mean,
2,
Monster was up close to the judge.
1.
They spent so much time to
Oh,
cautiously take him
tipis
out,
banget
but it didn't
Chronicle
really
itu.
even matter if he went down because Chronicle was holding that breach ult the entire time.
Crow nge-save Crow.
On any of the swings that happened, if they swung on Alfear, if they swung on Boaster up close, both were going to get breach ulted.
I think they're trying to
Belajar
hunt and
ulti
get this
Astra,
weapon out
Bang.
of the hands
Aduh,
of
Astra
Zeta.
membingungkan,
Laz still
coy.
has the op. It's actually
Oh,
Crow that's going
nice
to be found, so
Hellfire.
Laz will be safe. That's going to get carried over.
Yeah, but I don't think
Laz
he
sih
can really drop there. Yeah, 2.7K.
gimana ya? Gue ngerasanya si Laz ini maksa banget dia pakai chamber.
It's not the op, sure, but
Gak mau belajar apa
this
Laz?
last round, yeah, you're going to have to have like, a
Sentinel
judging
lain,
fest.
duelis lain gitu.
It's been a close game.
Pakai jet gitu Laz,
Very
belajar.
close map. I think we're still getting whiplash
Masa lu
from the
dari
fact that
zaman
Fracture was so
Master
dominant.
2022 masih pakai
There's going to be an early peak.
chamber
And
sih?
I wonder if Alpha is going to challenge on this.
He's been very fast up mid, so I wouldn't be surprised, but it's so often you see this turret just put down. And after that shot, it's crazy to see him swing wide.
Zeta
Look at that
attackernya
defensive setup.
lemah
that
ya
killjoy
sih.
utility for ZETA towards A. And I actually wondered who was going to try to be farming these orbs, and it was FNATIC who got the Hunter's Fury online.
Dia
Off still in the
aja
hands of
udah
Laz.
nggak lengket sama chamber. Dia itu udah move on loh. Dia udah belajar
There's just no challenge
belajar
that
agent
way.
banyak loh. Bahkan dia udah nggak cuma
So you
sentinel
wonder
kan,
here
udah
for FNATIC,
inisiator
this feels
juga.
like it's all about timing. If they can get Chronicle's fault line back up and Leo's dart back up, combining it with his ult,
The crazy thing is, their Crow, I mean, this
that was a
util
check.
here on
Wah.
A is crazy. That flash, Fnatic were hiding from all of it. 10 stun.
Mati.
Dude, I thought they didn't check it, but man, there it is. Now the Hunter's
Mati.
Fury out. You see an assist for
Gila
both.
Leo.
That's all that KJ util down.
And it's all
Leo.
gone. It's still littering the site, but it's completely ineffective. Sugar Zero ahead of it, trying to make a play, and he does on a Chronicle. The spike sitting on the ground now as Leo tries to fill behind it.
Nice
Zeta trying to keep
banget
Fnatic
Sugar
back,
Zero.
and so far so
Mati.
good.
Last.
But Alphayer again.
Leo got the spike too. He's out of there.
The question is, how far up does Alphayer go? He's picked up the op, and they're going to go C? Alphayer still has 2 nanos.
This is pretty awesome here, though. He's on that long angle. And now,
No way.
that dog should have heard him fall back there. But look at the flank as well coming in. Leo
Mati.
does get a spawn plant.
Mati nih kalau misalnya Crow.
It's not the
Okay.
best spawn plant,
2v2,
but it
2v2.
is definitely one. Alpha
Winnable,
can beat
Zeta,
that
winnable.
from that little corner.
Leo's dart just came up. Patience here. There
Winnable,
is a member
winnable.
playing down long in Sugar Zero, and you're right, there it is, the op. The peek out.
Aduh,
That
kalau
flick
itu
just
dapat flicknya
a bit
gila
short.
banget, euy.
2 mollies you were mentioning too coming into effect right now.
He still has the dart. He's still holding it. He knows where
Aduh.
one is, but no real idea of where the other is now. Position given away. Oh gosh, Crow can pull this off. 2 bullets, though. Is it going to be enough? Leo repositioning, playing up in plat. Time is short. He's gotten it down to 1. He's going to push forward with the shorty. Leo lands the shots. 7 for Fnatic in the Red Bull clutch.
Sugar Zero kok komit sih udah
It's
setengah tuh
perfectly
cabut
played from the two of
dulu.
As we
Sugar
head into
Zero lu
halftime,
udah
this is
half,
just
teman lu
crazy from
mati,
Alfear
lu
Leo.
tahu musuhnya deket. Kenapa lu komit? Kenapa lu komit? Lu udah setengah.
As he jumps through with that shorty.
I just needed to. That was, you're right, Hail Mary type beat in a position like that. And you can see Leo's expression, or well, the lack thereof, in a close moment like that, pulling that off. That gets FNATIC to a 7-5 lead, and we've got a little special something standing by. That's Golden Boy, who's actually going to pick the brains of a fan in the crowd. Golden Boy, take it away.
Thank you so much, fellas. I want everyone in the arena to give me a minute here and give a round of applause for Widget coming all the way from Japan over here in California to support his favorite team, Zeta Division, who are looking pretty decent right now. So, firstly, how far was that trip for you from Nagaoka, Japan, till here?
まず長岡からの、ここまでのとこどのぐらい時間かかりましたか？
待機時間含めて20時間ぐらい。
So including the layovers, it's about 20 hours.
20 hours to watch. I mean, okay, I respect that, brother. In any case, though, it was your dream to come here to Champions, to watch the games, to be amongst this crowd here in LA. Yeah, give it up one more again.
Start lagi kirain jam 6. Nggak apa-apa, santai guys.
What was the reasoning for you coming here besides
Gue
watching?
jam 5 udah seger, jadi ya udah gue bangun.
この夢の舞台にここまで長岡から長距離渡航してきた理由を教えてもらえますか？
マスターズ東京でライオットのスタッフの方と出会って、でそこからそのお礼をしたいと思って LA に来て、ライオットのインターナショナルスタッフに直接お礼しに来ました。
So I was fortunate enough to meet a Riot staff when I was attending Masters Tokyo, and I wanted to come here to show my appreciation to the Riot staff. That's why I'm here.
Oh, that is okay. We did an awe, a cursory awe. All right, well, that's awesome. And of course, any words for the folks watching back at home in Japan, but also for the Zeta guys as they get ready for this next half?
最後に、日本で応援しているファンの皆様と、この次のゼータディビジョンの、チームに向けて何かメッセージあればお願いします。
このまま頑張って、日本の皆さん、朝早くから皆さん一緒に頑張っていきましょう。ゼータファイティング
That's it, baby. Let's send it back over.
Zeta fighting indeed. They find themselves down 2 rounds, but now the attacking side on Haven, which should
agak lama tuh interviewnya tuh, overdue tuh. Pasti udah panik si botak.
They're all punched up towards A currently.
It's going to be tough as you already see this aggression from FNATIC go down mid. Yes, bunched up by Haven.
Oke, kita lihat gimana caranya Zeta.
He just barely misses.
Unreal.
And with all that said, none of the Sentinel util is up until sewers. So right now, Boasters might have.
Bahkan nggak ditranslate karena udah telat waktunya. Interviewnya kelamaan.
Suspicion of where they are. Chronicle can drop a fault line, and this could be disaster.
And I wonder as well. Okay, they broke that trip immediately.
So now they know. Oh, maybe it was cleared. They just dropped another.
Oh.
You see this double Sentinel comp on the attacking side, and all the layers that it has, the varying degrees of protection that it can offer.
They're going to have to flip into spawn here. Outfield's going to be able to hold on to that.
Always
They're falls, actually.
And he's going to have to.
Nice Leo, nice trade.
Traded.
Ayo Alfire. Alfire dong lihat gak sih?
From up in heaven. And, I mean, they're not even really going to give him a chance to take the fight. Laz choosing not to pull the trigger, unaware.
Nice Laz.
But he does with the frenzy. Now the Headhunter still up in play. He's going to have to get 3, and he cannot. It's Leo who does. Boaster on the defuse, and FNATIC with 8.
And that's all 4 pistols so far for FNATIC
Waifu.
As well. They put such an emphasis
Leo
into these.
keripik kentang
And this one doesn't even
asli.
feel that special.
No.
I mean, special in terms of Leo's ability to frag as always, but my goodness, they just walk down short and cause chaos for Zeta. I think one of the key things there is recognizing this comp cannot really take extra space once they go for those executes. I mean, you're playing people who are trying to be entrenched in Depp and Laz. And also, you know, playing with the combination of the Astra and the Rays. You want those players to be tucked still, holding positions, playing trap plays, those sorts of things. So once you get the option to flip, you can't really go for it. Forced up here, though, from Zeta.
In a considerable way, too. See the buy. They've invested everything. They did also flash down A to make sure there's no one coming through and then turn their sights all towards B.
Dibagi setengah-setengah bakal dapat kah dua-duanya? Enggak. Yang terakhir, yang nge-diffuse sampai akhir doang yang bakal dapat. Oh, nice banget, man.
Oh, this stun's going to punish him though, but gets out of the satchel. Clean movement.
Nice Satchel.
They should know now that there is a little bit more bite on the other side of this, but Leo's Vandal and Chronicle too. I mean, you thought you forced into it and that would be enough, but in the face of these rifles, can you make it work?
Waduh, Von Boster nge-spray through the smoke gitu.
He does have a little bit of a stinger.
Tipis.
Woo, almost hit the transfer,
Hampir,
almost gets a
hampir.
second.
Nah, udah
Still
lah ini
wouldn't
mah
have been
kelar lah.
enough.
6:30 juga kelar ini mah.
And just like Fracture, a little bit more damage done on that second.
Yeah.
Eco round attempt, but this
Dua
time it's a full
kosong, guys,
force,
sudah,
right?
guys.
They
Dua
still
kosong,
get that
dua
spike
kosong.
down so they can go for the same sort of punch. We'll see what they choose to do, because at this point they need to get back in this before FNATIC start converting rounds like this, and the one coming up, which they're actually having to reinvest a lot. I'm quite certain here that bonus will be canceled now.
Yeah.
But it
Yakinnya
is an
dulu ya,
anti-eco
yakinnya
cover,
dulu
so-
benar.
Yeah, it is full. Not even a
Belip
stinger
dulu,
bot,
belip.
just Sheriff's light armor for ZETA. Plus Leo has his ult at this point.
Ya langsung dah, biar EG lawan FUT dah. Gua mau ngeliat EG
Dirk was
FUT
so
nih.
fast on this. Chronicle didn't even
Sugar
fault line to get
Zero.
him in that position. He just took the space quickly. So he saves that early bit of utility. Meanwhile, Alfear gets dropped.
Aduh.
All right, the frenzies are working.
Bowser. Aduh.
Gonna be able to flip in towards C. Leo's the only
Set.
one who's close by currently. He's
Kan
got
kena
the
damage
Hunter's
gitu
Fury.
Yeah,
kayak
he has to
Kingston.
clear garage before he's comfortable to do it. And now Crow actually popped his Seekers, so...
Aduh, mati nih Ten.
Holy shocks.
Aduh, mati Ten.
Aftershock as
Udah
well,
gua
but the
duga.
nice plant. Crow might go down to it. No, I think it missed,
Kebaca,
actually.
buka bakal
Either
mundur.
way, Spike goes down. Leo's still
Aduh,
with that
Ten
ult.
mati
Look how far
bro.
ZETA are playing back. You've got Depp who's waiting outside double door. Sugar Zero who's playing even further back with the alarm bot to make sure there's no flank coming in through B.
Yeah, but note, it isn't planted for long, so deep positions won't be the greatest here. It's planted default, very safe.
Aduh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, Derke.
What a shot.
What the heck, bro?
Leo joining in on the action as well, and it all falls down to one Sheriff with how promising it looked.
Jesus.
GG dah.
Leo is constantly bailing them out, man.
GG dah.
I mean, this specifically this Haven is not the most perfect game from FNATIC, but
Dah. Zeta
I was talking a lot about the
attackernya
strategic
kagak berubah-berubah
difference
dari
between them and
dulu
other
ya.
teams.
Begini-begini aja dia
in
kalau
this
nyerang ya.
game, it comes down a lot to that individual level. Leo 19-6.
Itu jersey yang dipakai
Dirk,
FNATIC,
meanwhile, 6
itu
and
Champions
13.
Edition
Adds
tuh.
a little contribution to this
Jersey yang
round.
dipakai FNATIC
But
ini
it's
nih
all
yang
Leo
kayak
this
api-api. Harganya
Poor guy's probably never gonna
$90.
Given all the talks we've had about it.
Yeah, he's a raise one trick now.
Late timeout called from ZETA Division. They're down 5 rounds here. And much like you were saying, Bala, they look a little bit better, right? They're putting up more of a fight than
Nah,
they
kan
did
masih
on
ada
Fracture,
match
but
ketiga abis ini, Reza.
it's been far from nice, to be honest.
I mean, scoreline might end up being the same at the end of it.
Yeah.
And this early in the half, I really can't even point to much for ZETA to adjust.
No.
On this attacking side, I thought that this comp was always going to be a little bit of a struggle on this half. It's not something that we had much time to really dive into, but with the double Sentinel, it's always going to be tough. I think one thing that we saw when teams have
Tapi
run
beli
similar
jersey
comps in the
FNATIC
past
pasti
is
nggak bakal
you can
rugi
have
karena
a
mereka
lot of
bakal
really
masuk
smart
playoff mulu
defaults
ke
where you can
depannya.
Focus
Iya,
attention
jauh aja
through
jauh,
one lane of the
sama
map
mahal.
with much more presence. The map control comes a lot easier. But that's not even working right now for ZETA.
Digabung
Because
live-nya.
FNATIC multiple times now, they've run down mid.
Dari
they've
kemarin
run
juga
down A
digabung.
lobby, and
Masa
they're
gua
not
pisah
able to
per
punish
match?
the players who are doing some things
Beneran
like that.
2-0, udah pasti ini udah pasti. ZETA masih perlu banyak belajar sih.
We'll have to see where the rest of this
The
comes
fact
into.
mereka masih cling ke
First
Last
week on
sebagai
round here for
chamber
ZETA.
player
Yeah,
itu
it's-
menunjukkan
I mean,
bahwa
to
ZETA
say
ini
big,
menurut
probably
gua
selling it a bit short. Laz has an op.
belum bisa
Dirk
improve
is
sih.
already so far up. And
Mungkin
again,
lu bisa
the fault
menang
line
di
has not been
Asia, tapi
invested.
di internasional
It's off of the recalled star.
Last kagak bisa apa-apa
Then he
coy.
finds just a little bit of space, but it seems
Oh,
like Laz.
try ult from
He
Leo.
doesn't know.
Oh,
the
nice.
spam,
What?
though. Is
How
he
did
gonna
he
get traded
know?
back?
Nice.
Nothing found. Only one tag to Laz, and Crow's going to heal him right back up. That is such a good read from ZETA there. I wonder if
Bisa bang Titip Wilson.
gun, but
Alamak,
he's struggling
Titip
this
Wilson kenal aja kagak
And
gua.
I think there are two things here to talk about. Yes, Dirk got dropped, but I think also the Hunter's Fury invested. If it was maybe just one, it doesn't feel as bad.
Sampai jam berapa?
But an
Sampai game
excellent read
ketiga
by
kelar?
ZETA.
this is still
Sampai
a lot of work being
EG
done
lawan
from
FUT.
Corsair on this
Yeah.
deep push down long seat.
He's patient, but how patient will he be? Dep's waiting on the other side. Less patient, but what a flick. Snappy out from the Sentinel.
And this is why Dep was the guy who a lot of people were putting the onus on for ZETA to do well in this tournament.
Oh, Alfier's really far ahead of everything here. He used the timing from the Nano to take some space.
Ooh.
And he tried getting a second, but only one was found.
A great satchel from 10, though.
Chronicle and Leo, the two true initiators, excuse me. One found, the second trying to snap on it, not doing so. That aftershock's not gonna feel good, but the timing from Laz on the swing is great.
Not much found from FNATIC there on that early aggression, and ZETA does such a great job to handle everything. I think that flick from Dep is just so crucial.
What?
Kalau nggak kenal TTP lewat kaca atau ear buat pesen nih.
I saw a ping on the
Oh,
minimap,
ini
right?
bagus loh.
And
Ini
as well,
bagus.
when you see that recall, everything like that, that's definitely a read that can be made. That's somewhere where you can frequently spam and find in ranked lurking Reynas in most cases, but here Durka trying to be cheeky. But he's got the op online now able to take a fight against Laz.
Udah mulai sabeton. Nanti malam jam 7.
Oh,
Woi, woi, woi. Buset, Derke.
Timed. I thought he was going
Ngeri
to get
banget,
caught with his
Derke.
pants down, but no.
And both Astros
Turnamennya
recalling
negara mana?
stars there
Los
for everybody to
Angeles,
fall off on.
Amerika.
In those moments, you know there's been a killing field that must be evacuated.
We're going to get a little op battle, are we? Dirk is weak. The flash to give Laz the angle. Does he dare re-peek?
Surely not.
He's considering it, but he takes a safer angle here.
Channel Kong Kong here.
Yeah, just swing out.
Another star onto him. It's interesting because you would expect Laz to want to be taking these fights.
I mean, he's posted up for it. That Trailblazers, I don't know if that's going to reach far enough.
Oh, you missed.
Oh, miss.
Never mind, it certainly does.
Those things go far, man.
Yeah,
way
they do,
farther
bro.
than you expect. Another recall from Sugar Zero. He has 2 stars ready for this execute. But that means there's not a grab well, there's no stun, which are necessary to deal with both Durka and Leo on this site. With Chronicle as well coming in, he has fault line, everything. There's no go here. 25 seconds, they've got to commit.
Oi.
This is comfort zone for ZETA, though.
Kalau Las mati kalah.
Like to burn the clock down.
Oh, nice.
What?
Kalau Las mati kalah.
We're going to have to take a look at that one more time.
Yeah, but look at this. No, there's still no time here.
Yeah, the spike is still
No
not
time.
out.
No time.
Leo's able to provide a little bit
No
of cover,
time, no
buy
time.
some time, but they're going to crumble.
No time, no time.
Can Alfire do this on his own? He's gotten the first. He's got to stop the play.
Gila, Alfire.
But Alfire with a
Alfire.
massive Red Bull clutch for FNATIC.
Alfire.
Alfire does it again.
Alfire.
Through the window. Down onto site. And he does it sideways.
Dung
This
dung.
is just crazy.
Dung dung.
And Crow had to commit to that plant.
Yeah,
That
he had
flick,
no choice.
boys.
I mean, he could have got off and got the final kill, but
That's so risky.
the duality of Mini there.
Yeah.
You want to
No
play?
kidding.
Let's play.
Mini's
Nggak
a
jelas,
coach who
nggak jelas.
just, you could tell over and over,
Pakai
demands
Guardian lagi.
perfection from his team. So despite winning a round, you're going to get frustrated when things aren't going their way. That one definitely looked lost, and then you have heroics that he can't help but celebrate too.
No, it is that coaching philosophy that leads to dynasties, though. And FNATIC are looking to get past ZETA to continue to cement theirs. Shot
Aduh.
from Dirk. Oh my
Oh my god.
gosh.
Oh my god.
He's going to get away with the second.
How is he staying here?
He peeks a third time.
Yeah, that's
and look at
crazy.
Dirk laughing on the camera. They were playing whack-a-mole.
Laz has the much better angle there. But Durka is just sitting in that when he really can't even see the head of Laz, and now he repositions the jump spots to get Laz on the angle.
Oh.
But 10 doesn't do it wide enough, so
Kata Las. Bentar, bentar. Ngadu dulu, bos.
I don't remember how many shots Laz has left. What, 2?
2, yeah.
Ayo lu, Las.
We were robbed of this
Mati
duel
lu,
initially,
Las.
but we're going to get it this time, and Durka wins it out.
Ngadu lagi dah lu AWP dah.
Those two. Now that we've had head-to-head battles between
Dor.
them, that's just perfect from Boaster.
Just so well played,
Mah,
so
gila.
well timed.
There's
Look
a
at that,
dart,
dude.
there's a stun,
Gila.
Everything.
there's a peek.
Gila.
You see that double initiator comp just being so good. Because what do
Oh
you do in
my god,
situations like
gila.
that? It just
Dah.
feels like you're being bullied.
Zeta,
It's not something
Eco
that
anyway.
everybody can do, though. I mean, it's
Yeah,
double
that's
initiator, sure, but it's Chronicle and Leo as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very good point.
Fix.
Leo might be the best initiator util player in the world. I mean,
Yeah.
I would say easily.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure.
And Chronicle might be second best in the world.
Dah. Eco kan? Tuh, Eco.
Moments like that
Lu
you
lihat.
appreciate.
Lu
Other teams
lihat,
are really starting
Eco.
to, you know, get up there with that
GG,
sort of
Bang.
combination.
GG bang, udah bang.
But here it is. Match point now for FNATIC in their opening game.
5
Mati
of the
nih.
last 6
3, 2,
for the
1.
Masters champions. Another duel, another win for Dirk.
Ace,
He gets
Ace,
a second.
Derke, ayo. Derke, Ace yuk.
Was trying to take off and
Ayo,
satchel
Derke,
his
Ace
way
yuk.
forward, but he never had a chance.
You can hear that satchel ticking
Gila.
away.
Yeah.
Solo bos, Derke bos.
Are you guys cheering for an ace? There's only been 2 kills.
I respect it, though. I respect it.
That's me in my rank games for real.
That lockdown going to buy a little bit of time, but it really didn't push FNATIC back very much at all. He's got the
Oh,
blades.
kalau kena sih sadis
This
juga
might
tuh.
be where he goes for it. He's going to get some high ground.
He's waiting for the util here from Leo.
And Chronicle. What is it? Cosmic Divide going to push them back. He tries to get up high. Is there anyone who dares show ahead? Durka with
Ace,
3. Now
Ace,
you chant.
Ace,
Now
Ace,
you ask for
Ace,
it.
Ace, Ace, Ace,
Durka
Derke.
looking for it all.
Derke, Ace yuk.
He's going to have to push past the Cosmic Divide.
Oh, Ace, what the
Faithful
hell?
shall be rewarded. FNATIC take down ZETA.
What a way to end it.
Oh my god.
It's Durkin time. Look at
Otak
him go.
sengklek, otak sengklek.
Just a ridiculous
Jesus
showing
Christ.
from FNATIC that entire way through.
Ente
And
dah
at
Z,
the end of the
ente Z.
day, it does look like domination.
Yup.
And that's what you expect coming into this series, no matter what ZETA looks
Gila.
like. No matter what, whether they
FNATIC
look
sih
like
gila
LCQ form, whether
banget
they
ya.
look like Reykjavik form, the best ZETA's ever played, you still expect that on that stage.
Yeah. Really a testament to, again, the strength of FNATIC and the expectations that the field has put on them, that they've put on themselves.
Yeah, they're going to continue to balloon here in this group,
Damn bro.
especially after you've just seen on the opposite side of their group, NRG get taken down early in that one.
Gila, closingnya keren.
What a
Ace,
match.
Ace buat closing,
What a dominant performance, man.
Mereka jadi pakai celana pendek semua
Just complete.
gitu. Tuh lihat shorts
Did
buff.
my man just floss on
Mereka semua pakai celana
stage?
pendek.
Dude, you can't be doing that.
It's rare that we
Si
see
pemuda
such a complete
Pancasila dong.
performance like that on the international stage. You know, maybe you see teams beat up like that domestically or regionally, so to speak, where the
Yeah.
competition might not be the same, but
Stakes aren't as
on,
high.
MK tadi
but on
kegantengan
the
auto
biggest
naik.
stage that Valorant has to
Mata kau.
offer, for FNATIC to look as good as they do.
Gila sih. Mereka semua pakai celana pendek coy, shorts coy. Bagus sih itu utility supportnya bagus banget, earthquake-nya dapet, double updraft-nya dapet, bagus banget itu, gila. Idol. Telat kah? Telat di ininya doang kok, di match keduanya doang. Tapi masih ada match ketiga, FUT lawan EG kan. Bro, it was epic, bro. It was epic. Jesus. Aduh. Yang tadi sama Bli-Bli menang siapa? Billy. Gaslah t-shirt FNATIC. Ya mesti nitip beli di sono. Hari ini udah ada 3 ace aja. Hah? Emang tadi Billy 2 kali ace? EG lawan FPX kemarin ya. Nice try. Som dapat ace, knight ace. Lebih ke bantai T1 apa Zeta? Lebih ke bantai T1 sih. Nggak tahu ya. T1 kemarin non FUT 13-4, 13-7. Kalau Zeta masih ini 13-5, 13-6. Sama aja kocak. Sama-sama dibantai. 13-4, 13-7, 13-6, 13-5. Sama aja tuh berdua. Zeta sama T1, tim Korea, tim Jepang ini sama-sama dibantai. Ntar ganti judul dulu. Saatnya kita ganti judul menjadi EG versus FUT. Kengkeng ngelihat YZ ketar-ketir. Nah, penasaran tuh gue nanti tuh. Gue berharap both Kengkeng and si YZ tuh ketemu tuh. Tim Cina dua-duanya ketemu di qualifier playoff. Pagi Tordis. Pacific yang kuat kayaknya PRX sama DRX aja ya. T1 sama Zeta sampai ke bantai gini. Iya cuy, lemah banget sumpah. T1 sama Zeta sih udahlah. Mereka perlu rombak squad, mereka perlu rombak cara main, perlu rombak strategi sih menurut gua. Gak bisa cuy kayak gitu doang cuy. Cara main mereka kebaca banget, kayak Asian style banget gitu loh. Kayak default Asian style gitu. Enggak, Zeta Jepang, T1 Korea. Perlu Christopher Devin, buset. Si paling perlu gue. BLG jago, EDG-nya pas WCT China kemarin sampai ke map 5. Habis watch partnya justru sabeton kah? Enggak, malam sabetonnya. EG pelatihnya masih sama lah, masih Potter lah, si Mami Potter. Padahal Babang Norman beli banget sama T1. T1 jagonya di LoL-nya, di Valorant-nya kurang banget. Saya player meh. Hari ini berapa tim yang main? 3 tim tuh, ada jadwalnya kan? Valorant gua udah connect. Udah lihat hasil match kemarin di RX jadi ganteng banget hasilnya. Ah 2-1 kok. Ganteng apanya? Gak sabar lihat pelatihnya EDG. Emang kenapa lu tuh? NRG kebantai coy. Ini 2-0 agak ngeri nih. Rekomen headset buat Valo. Headset yang gue pakai bagus. Bentar lah, gue mau minum dulu bentar. Night market jam berapa? Emang bakal ada night market? Emangnya bakal ada night market kan? Gak ada kabar night market kapan? Gak tahu gua kapan. Shh, 321. Gila, Alfajar headshot rate-nya 34%, euy. Insane. Dia ketawa lihat Las make OP. Nge-wave mulu lu katanya. Khusus match FUT melawan EG ini, gua akan menjadi Mami Potter dengan memakai kacamata bulat saya. Ding, ding.
Of EG, we're just waiting, and we saw a little bit of it from FUT yesterday.
I mean, they looked really good yesterday, and I think there were so many questions that were answered. I think their play style fully came to head on the stage where everyone's expecting.
Lah, next season Aspas sama Tenzi kan emang pindah tim kan?
Diffing everyone.
Kalian
It's
tahu
gonna be a
nggak?
difficult, different beast
Sentinel?
against EG, who, while they just put up an insane
Itu udah mau
run in
bangkrut.
Tokyo, did get tested a little last time we saw them on the stage.
I'm glad you guys mentioned the rematch, because if we dive a little bit deeper into it, the circumstances, Doug, are a little bit different this time around. Of course, back in Tokyo, when they faced each other back then, I don't think many people expected EG to then go on to do what they ended up doing.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I don't know that, I mean, maybe they did.
They
But I don't know that anyone else
Yeah.
did. Yeah, I think they subverted so many expectations, but I think now you know what kind of a commodity, Ball, like you were saying, you know what a commodity you have in Evil Geniuses. You know what they're capable of. Demon 1, who was relatively quiet through Tokyo, was in full form the last time we saw them play. This EG is the real deal.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the two teams actually had similar rises when they got to Tokyo, right? It was, I mean, EG got kind of lucky, and then they made it in through playoffs, but FUT, like, third place all the way through.
Tapi
They were very
Sentinel,
good
beneran
throughout
Sentinel
the
udah mau
NBA. They were
bangkrut. Bener
consistent.
tuh kata
You
si
actually
Kroisma.
expected them to do pretty well.
Pengeluaran
And then when
mereka
you actually went up
$700,000
against
per
EG,
bulan
that
buat
game was
gaji
kind of a spark
karyawan,
that
buat
really
bikin
started that
merchandise.
fire run for EG throughout Tokyo in my mind, because it was a close game up until it wasn't, you know? That's how that match originally went, and I think we're kind of expecting something different now that we've seen EG go to the heights that they reached.
This is the thing, the last match expectations were almost the same for both teams, right? We were just excited to see what they could do. Are the expectations still the same? Do you guys feel like?
No, absolutely
No.
not. Not even
Yeah?
close.
No.
I think for me, I look at this group and I think EG,
Ditambah lagi
for
Sentinel
sure
nggak ada
should be making
pencapaian
it out,
apa-apa
no
sama 2
problem.
tahun ke
Whereas
belakang
FUT,
kan.
It's like, yeah, they probably should be making it out,
Mereka
but I
terakhir
wouldn't be surprised
keren
if
itu
somebody like
2021.
T1 who they absolutely demolished
2022,
yesterday, probably the biggest stomp
2023
that
mereka
we've
nggak ada
seen so
achievement
far,
sama sekali,
outside
nggak
of
ada
maybe the
juara
FNATIC
sama
game that
sekali,
we just
top
saw.
10 aja kagak, masuk
I
aja
think
kagak.
that kind of
Agak
replenishes
sedih sih.
hope in what we know FUT can be. It's just about how they show up on an international stage, in my mind.
Well, on the side of EG, speaking of them, let's send it down to Golden Boy and get a quick word from Com.
Com, come over here, brother. How's it going, bud? All right, you know, look, this FUT team is coming into this event with a ton of momentum. You guys have been in that position in the past. How do you stall this team that seems like a runaway freight train right now?
Shoot head better.
There it is. Just get out of here.
Oh, that's what I've been doing wrong this whole time. I get it now, I get it. But let's talk about I guess the big hitters on both sides, Demon 1 and Kiwi, because Doug, back in Tokyo, when they went up against each other, they kind of underperformed a little bit, but after the first round of being here, both of those guys are on form.
Which should just make for such a good matchup. Again, you mentioned it, the last time we saw them, it was lackluster from both. It was really quiet, and it was honestly, to go back to the conversation about expectations leading into that match, it was a subversion of expectation for both. We knew what Demon 1 was capable of. We knew what Kiwi's capable of regionally. We expected it to come to head when they matched up.
Aspas sudah pasti pindah tim menurut gua.
So now that we
Menurut
see
gua
that they're
Aspas
playing
harus
at
pindah
much better
tim sih.
form, to see them match up like this should be
Nih,
really good.
lu bisa pegang kata-kata gue ya.
Such insane regional
Minggu
performances from them that I
tahun depan,
haven't quite seen yet at the
tahun
global
depan,
tournaments. Outside of Kiwi, at Lock-In, he was insane. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's true.
what he was
Kiwi
doing to
farm.
100 Thieves.
tahun depan Aspas menurut gua 90% pindah tim. Tens itu juga pasti pindah tim. 90% pindah tim Tens. Either pindah tim atau dia pensiun. Yay, balik lagi tahun depan Yay. Terus apa lagi ya tadi gue inget ya? Lupa gue. Nah, 3 orang itu dulu lah.
Before he played against FPX yesterday. But even then, when you have a player like Demon 1 on form, Baller, this is going to... I mean, I know they got second place at Tokyo, but they did it without Demon 1 being Demon 1.
Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of other players really stepped up. I'm thinking Busio, especially in that FUT game, was a fire starter for them so consistently. So, yeah, it was other factors. But now that we saw their first games, we start to go back to those old narratives and really put a lot of emphasis on those two players' performance.
Yeah, let's talk about Boostio. I feel like everyone's favorite fragging IGL, right?
Yeah, who's been under the spotlight a little bit for some of what he's been saying happening recently, but I mean, Boostio, there's really no other way to describe it. He had an outrageous performance at Tokyo. Top fragging as far as IGL goes, probably one of the top 5, top 10 players in the entire tournament from a Sentinel role, calling through everything that he and his team went through that year. We talked about the FUT matchup. It was Boostio who carried EG through that match last time they played. So it's a difficult thing too to expect a Sentinel and IGL to continue to put up numbers like that, but the truth is he continues to do it. He did it all of Tokyo. There's no reason to think he's not going to be able to do it here.
Yeah, have you guys heard how many rounds he expects here from FUT?
Wait, did he tell you?
No, he didn't tell me.
I was hoping.
Nasib PRX tahun depan gimana? Jin kan katanya mau wamil.
I expect 4 rounds total.
Gak gitu khawatir gue kalau PRX. Mereka pinter cari personil soalnya.
Is that what he sounds like?
Yeah. He sounded more like Obama.
Barack Obama, yeah.
Feeling gue Tens palingan rehat dulu deh. Iya makanya either dia pindah tim atau dia pensiun dari Rana Pro. Mungkin ngurusin KYD juga kan, you never know kan.
How big of a deal this will be if FUT can win today. They will go where no other Turkish team have ever gone before. They will be the first full 5 Turkish players to make it to a playoffs at an international tournament. A tournament this big.
Pokoknya Luffy next player PRX, jangan dong, lu mau PRX jadi kayak Sentinel. Sri Wahyuni Octavia, welcome back to Definition Silver.
So Doug, there's a lot of pride and regional pride, Turkish pride, everything on the line.
Udah nontonnya di bioskop ini mah.
Oh, 1000%. That watch party goes hard. I mean, look at them. They're rolling deep. And I think, again, it just goes to show like how excited they are, how much pride there is, as you mentioned, regionally for the players individually. And I think they do have a really cool opportunity to do something that hasn't been done before. Mind you, the sample size is small, but they have the chance to do something really special here. Not just make it out of groups, not just be the first to make it out of groups, but to do it against EG, the team that beat them last time, the team that came in second in Tokyo.
Yeah, it's revenge.
100 TIF aja bubarin ya. Bubarin Valorant kan 100 TIF.
Right. The reason why I had less expectations for them coming into this tournament was that
Tokyo
performance was poor after the EG series.
juga ngebubarin, bukan ngebubarin sih. Kayak bikin player-playernya free agent gitu. Kalau mereka mau main di tim mana, ada yang mau, boleh gitu. Juga udah habis duitnya bang.
So yeah, there is a lot riding on this, but I think they're in much better shape mentally than they were at Tokyo.
Yeah, they have a chance to make history here, and let's send it back to Golden Boy and get a quick word from FUT IGL, Mr. Fallen.
Mr. Fallen, come over here, my man. I know your team's heading off into the distance there. I want to ask you a quick question. This is a big moment for Turkish Valorant. You guys are, on the precipice of bracket play. Does that moment weigh on you guys? Does it weigh on the team as you get ready to take on one of your greatest challenges yet?
Yeah, it's going to be the biggest challenge I think for us, but we just have to come in to prove ourselves. We are, qualified the champions, let's see who's wrong, who's right.
I love it, brother. You have it going, all right? Take it easy, all right? Have it going. Back to you.
I love kind of the coyness of this, but the thing is, this team, one of the reasons they've been doing so well, they've said it themselves, Doug, is that the vibes are really good, which is exactly the same for EG, right? Everybody loves how good their vibes are.
And that's the thing, in a tournament format like this, we've talked about it so much throughout the year, vibes matter, right? Like a team catches fire, the vibes are good, and you can make a run that you wouldn't expect, much like EG did previously.
Yeah, well, this is a rematch, so I wonder if we're going to get the same maps this time around. I cannot wait
to rematch
find out.
Karena di Master
Coach Gaius and Potter and see where we're going to be
Master mereka sempat ketemu kan. Di Master FUT sempat ketemu sama EG juga. Nih. FUT EG 2-0 di Master. 13-5, 14-12. Kita lihat ya. Kita lihat rematch kali ini. Kita lihat rematch kali ini.
Haven, your band. Fracture. Map number
Turki 1. Masuk Asia kagak dong. Masih EMEA kayaknya Turki.
Pearl. Side on Pearl.
Pearl.
Attack. Okay. Map number 2.
Bind.
Bind. Side on Bind.
We'll take defense.
Defense. Okay, next set of bands starting with EG. You have Ascent, Lotus, and Split.
Mami Potter.
Take out Lotus.
Take out Lotus. Your band, you have Ascent and Split.
Ustio nge-tweet.
Ban split.
Ban
Oh,
split.
yeah?
Yes.
That will make map number 3
Ustio
Ascent.
nge-tweet.
Side on Ascent.
Defense, please.
Defense. Okay, gonna run through this, make sure we're all set. First set of bans, we have EG with Haven, Foot with Fracture. Map number 1
Playing
is Pearl with
versus
Foot
to
on
make-
attack. Map number 2
to make
is
playoff,
Bind with
give me
EG
your-
on
give
defense.
me your energy.
Next set of bans are Lotus and Split, which makes the Cider map 3
Get
Ascent
ready
with
to
EG
learn
on defense.
Chinese, buddy.
All right, good luck to you both.
Andy Miller to chat and FNS. Yo, NRG, what the hell are you doing? You trying to learn Chinese? Aduh, Ustio. Nge-meme mulu lu.
Evil geniuses. Footy sports.
Rematch, boy.
This is for a spot at playoffs. But
Ya, siapapun yang menang ini bakal masuk playoff langsung.
Again, one of these teams, if they win this best of 3 Bala, they're going to be going through to playoffs, and they will have 7 days to prep for it. That is huge.
Yeah, that's underrated of a factor, and it's a different format to some of the other tournaments that we've had group stages for. Usually, we
Rame amat nih pemainnya FUT.
opening matches,
Wih,
whatever,
atak kaptan,
and
let's
here
go
we
atak
are with
kaptan.
This group, I mean, having a chance.
Apakah Evil
We already
Genius masih
had
ngeri?
the
Masih.
DRX team go
Evil
through,
Genius masih ngeri
and
sih
have that
kalau dari
advantage
performance
now, and now
kemarin.
these two teams have that
Kita lihat
opportunity to
aja.
go for it as well.
Kemarin dia lawan
Map
FTX sih
details real quick, Doug. What did you
ngetrol ya.
make of it? Anything that you expected or didn't expect?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think I'm curious to see how things play out. I think EG on Pearl should be a lot of fun. Potter is obviously known for cooking up all sorts of.
Gue penasaran aja lihat performance
FUT.
FUT.
What, the better part of 2 years now, going back to prior roster iterations and things like that. So I'm really excited to see how they play out on Pearl specifically.
I think for me the most interesting thing was the last decision that they made, EG banning Lotus, where that was the first map that they started on against FUT last time, and they want to avoid that opportunity to play against them, and they got kind of lucky that FUT didn't go for that, given how good that team is on this map. But maybe they also don't want to go up against an EG that beat them after, you know, so much.
Gila, Mami Potter sih menyemangati anak-anaknya banget ya, Mami Potter ya.
Turkish teams on Ascent, they hear differently.
Menyemangati anak-anaknya terakhir sebelum match.
I personally am leaning a little bit more towards FUT, but as you said, Doug, this Pearl is going to be a hard, tall hill, a mountain for FUT to be able to climb on. What did you make of the Sova change? I know they kind of brought in.
Anggap aja FPX kemarin titipan Pemda, brengsek.
Yeah, I love it. Honestly, I think that's been a lot more
Gue
common.
tentuin second per grup di mana. Jadi yang kalah bakal masuk ke decider match. Loser match yang menang masuk ke decider match. Jadi pemenang loser match dan yang kalah dari winner match bakal tanding terakhir. Yang menang decider match masuk ke
So I'm kind of like mixed feelings because we saw many teams
playoff.
still show in the Americas League still show great Viper Harbors on this map that I kind of think it's still the way to go.
Well, here is the Prime Gaming Agent Select, and both of them have. Is this are they stuck to the comms that they ran already? It looks like it.
Yeah, it seems to be the case.
Double smoker melawan double initiator.
Always with FUT you get this
Pearl,
KO, and here you have Brim Viper on Pearl, which is such a drastic difference to everyone else in the meta here. And this is actually something that most of the time EMEA has been avoiding. So you can see FUT 4 times played, and they're quite proficient at
Let's
it
see.
still.
FUT sih 75% ya win rate-nya ya.
So this again, given what we know about Potter, given what we know about how FUT's form was the last time we saw them, I'm really excited because I think we're going to be able to tell very early what kind of series we're in for.
Kita lihat nih, line up dari kom.
If they're still fragging the way that they are, and they're just going to fully disrespect what EG are showing them, it could be a really good series.
Well, we are ready to go, so let's send it over to my good friends from across the pond. It's Mitch and Tom.
Thank you so much, Yinsu and the desk. Yes, we're ready to get back into another FUT game, this time up against EG, and what a spectacular matchup we should have in front of us, Tom.
Yeah, the thing is, when we came into this one, we looked at this group, looked at EG, and went, okay, this should be a clean sweep for them, an easy way through. But FUT came in with some pretty hot form as of just yesterday, so I'm looking forward to see what they have here. I also really like the fact that this map has now been picked against FUT a couple of times. First time they picked defense, looked incredibly strong. You go, okay, probably going to do that again. No, they go into the attack, where realistically that's the one place they haven't really been seen as much, especially with this composition. So EG can't have counted as much of what we'll see in this
Dukungnya
first
EG
half.
udah banyak banget nih. Gara-gara performance-nya kemarin banyak fans karbitan EG nih.
On their own map pick as well. Quite a treat for this squad. FUT with the biggest matchup so far in their careers. And I mean, looking at EG on home turf as well, we'll see how this match unfolds. But it's an uphill battle for the side of FUT, beginning on the attack and looking for some control. They've destroyed the turret, but they've got their sights set on A.
Viper walls making things a little bit more
nice
awkward.
banget.
Has just met the Turkish aim.
Q-Rex.
First bullet straight to the head as they look to swarm in onto Jogamo. Almost manages to get a double straight off the bat. He is going to be a menace throughout this match on the A site, but for now at least, it's going to be the advantage in the favor of FUT. Quick retake being attempted though.
Yeah, just trying to annoy them. Some damage done. Boostio able to catch off. Bojin goes out for a bit more.
Nice trade.
That double might just give them a
2v2,
fighting
2v2.
chance in this. With low HP on Ada Captain, the round might just be theirs. And seconds later it is locked in for EG, America's #1. You've already seen America struggle today, Tom. The eyes are certainly on the Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, one of the things I really want to highlight as well is the last time we actually saw Boostio play a Killjoy versus FUT, he got 35 kills. So he had a pretty good game. So that's definitely going to be someone we have to keep an eye on. I also want to watch the way that EG are actually going to work, because one of the things I feel like T1 really suffered with on this map in particular was respecting the utility of FUT a little bit too much.
Belum ada sistem ban agent karena belum banyak agent.
For example, we saw retakes where FUT
2-3 tahun lagi baru ada lah menurutku.
Smokes, you know, okay, but that's just madness. I don't think EG are going to fall for that same sort of trap, as they are always very good at reading into their opponents. Props to Potter for that one. But for now, at least, we're going to look at FUT with a minute of investment. A few pistols, nothing much more. And on the other side, well, a pretty healthy buy.
Yeah, some challenges for EG if they want to take pacier attack rounds. But here on the defense, they're not afraid to put a little bit of that aggression out. Already grabbing the orb up on A long. Some good control on the back of it. But they have given up.
Mereka masuk kah ke ini?
FUT are feeling it out, grabbing all of that control.
FUT pindah ke mid to B kah?
Still a decent run from here towards either one of the sites. There's players in between them. Calm. I like the idea. Spamming on the back of the turret contact. It won't get them anything though.
Yeah, the screen is basically just used to try and make things more awkward for the player fighting around that angle. And you're going to want to play close when you're up against these pistols. Calm though. Very good at just taking that initial fight, fading away, not over-facing. He has support from Boostio as well, and not giving any real 1v1 fights. They are cleaning things up. It's only going to be the pistol lost, and for Kiwi, 8 HP. Definitely not the kind of choice as he tries to pick up the other. He will fall as well. Very clean from the side of EG. Only a Sheriff lost and nothing more.
Yeah, I mean, that is a textbook follow-up round. The fact that they chose right away to give up the control around mid, knowing FUT would want to poke and prod for it. They don't fight in art. No one gets caught out of position. And consistently, Calm was just taking shots, falling back, grabbing his one, and leaving. I love to see it. Now this is interesting. Round 3, timer's ticking away, and we're getting towards 0.
Gimana ya kalau ada sistem ban agent? Ya dia pasti akan belajar agent lain lah.
Just played the pistol so they could save up this extra cash. I don't know if this is something FUT will necessarily be expecting, but with Demon 1 on the server, I feel like you always have to be that little bit more wary.
Ayo attack kapten,
Again, though, we saw this from the few attack rounds.
Kiwi sama Q-Rex juga bisa lah ini. Yuk.
Pacey hits and already walking quite far up towards long. Boostio's going to try and get himself a little bit more aggressive around this corner. That singular smoke place to try and deter them, but Kiwi's going right through it, and he'll find that opener.
Yeah, spotted Boostio on the way through. That's your Killjoy down. A lot of your utility down.
Mati.
Already used a Nano Swarm. Now a lot of the weaker weapons are trying to skirmish for this site, and the op still miles away. If you lose these other players, you're going to start to think about saving, but Ethan might just have given them a chance. Now they can contemplate fighting for this Kiwi. Incredibly low, 40 HP, a shot out from the op. Now they know where Kiwi is. They've got him boxed in, taken down, and Mr. Fallen's on 70. The follow-through round from FUT, this should have been clean. The op didn't even play that big of a role, but it might to close it out. It has the angle up top. That smoke soon to fade. And Mr. Fallen left in the open. Good damage done. Jogamo barely holding on.
Nice Jogamo.
Catch the angle up above.
Nice.
Evil Genius is not giving an inch to FUT.
Masih kuat sih ini again sih. Aimingnya masih mengerikan sih. Jangan sampai finalnya FNATIC lawan EG lagi ya adik-adik ya.
Really didn't work out for them either. And then Ethan just at the back of sight gets 2 kills with a stinger and it allows the time for the rotation of Jorgamo and Demon 1. Big round for him and for FUT. That is an early
Jam 2 pagi, iya besok jam 2 pagi. Kalau kalian mau gue begadang, kalau kalian mau gue nonton PRX, gue mesti tidur jam 8 malam.
Yeah, that's not wiggle room whatsoever. They're certainly going to start to feel boxed in. The one upside, Kiwi has a Blade Storm. Look at this, the fact that Demon 1's holding that. Just what's going through their head. Okay, they've got a Blade Storm. How do we deal with it? Let's hold some of those updraft angles. You know he's going to try a nasty play, and he's already tried it. Down to 30 health. Sure, they get control over the B site, but defending it with these kind of weapons is not likely to go well. And with 30 HP on Kiwi, what can you really hope for?
But there's 2 things that they can hope for. One, Blade Storm maybe works out. The other is Mr. Fallen gets a single kill and he has a lockdown. Other than that, there really isn't a lot to play with in this round already. Getting a lot of information, and those knives are going to be gone for the next few seconds.
Hilang. Di absen sama Demon 1, capek banget.
It's looking very easy for the remaining players. Post plant for Moj. He will be able to pick off one already. Attempting a little bit more, but now Mr. Fallen, Stinger at a distance. Can't really hope for anything, and again, EG are going to make that one look easy. 4 players alive. Finances really growing, and although the time was getting a little bit low, they make it look comfortable.
They absolutely do. 4 players left alive. This round started out probably about as poorly as you'd expect for what was in it, unless Kiwi was to pick up some quick kills, but they played super passive, they gave them the control, and in the end,
malamnya nggak usah streaming. Terus sabeton saya bagaimana? Kan malam ini saya sabeton. Diundur kah sabetonnya jadi besok?
Lockdown in play on both sides. Could end up just canceling each other out, but I'm looking at Calm just 1 away from grabbing that Hunter's Fury as well. So if he's able to grab an early pick, things could start to look a lot better for them with an immediate counter available.
Yeah, and it's funny as well. I think Demon 1, its positioning in the early rounds, unlucky. They have gone B the last few. He's been on A. Now he's finally on B, and they are lurking through mid and wrapping around onto A. In fact, Com's position was one almost placed ready for Kiwi as he does wrap back round, potentially looking to go to spawn or even hit into R, but he's going to be spotted by the drone. I think maybe even caught a little bit off guard by the fact that they are prepared for somebody to be this far forward. And with the remaining players back of sight, even though the ground has been taken for FUT, the value of it, well, it's like he's almost given it to them.
Yeah, again, in effect, when they come to pushing the site, because of how passive EG are, they've just given up ours, right? It's not as bad as you might think, because FUT have nowhere to pivot to take that space off of slightly missing the timing on that right click. The knife caught him. Ability suppressed for just a moment. Spams through, nothing found. Kiwi biding his time as the shock dart lands. Next planter steps up to the plate. We'll see what they can do. A nade on its way, but they haven't accounted for Kiwi. The double up close, the reward found. He's going to fight further into spawn for his third. Still holding control. That lockdown, sure, it presents a serious danger for him. Not so much as the bullets, but he's bought time. He's bought space for his squad now, positioned in Arden main, and with just 1 man on the other side, Demon 1. Seems to be a near impossible clutch just with the time on the clock. He has to try to find some kills first.
Demon.
Suspecting the second. Great read on this situation. But Maj just falls back, toying with the timer and winning it out in the end. The first for FUT is found.
Pecah telur.
It took them a little bit and ultimately took a huge round out from Kiwi. Someone just going a little bit unchecked around the edges of the smoke, but it's one that we'll wait and see how often he's going to be able to pull off something like that, because it's still a very, very long way to go. Even still, actually starting to look at the finances for FUT. Even just not keeping that one squeaky clean now means that Mr. Fallen is going to be left with just an SMG for this round, so they may have finally found themselves on the board, but the troubles definitely aren't over just yet.
Anything but. And we saw this recon through in the previous round. This time, it's catching a lot of information. Okay, Jogamo's got a second. Here comes the Hunter's Fury. Tagging them up on the way through, making them a little bit easier to follow up on as Jogamo catches yet another kill. The spike, the last to fall. And a very quick response from EG. They lose a round, and they give them seconds to give it right back. It's a strong lead. And we've seen this a couple of times, the idea of popping up the flash, following through with the recon as well. Didn't quite net them as much value as this time around, though.
Yeah, this is something that has been spoken about throughout the tournament so far, and that is that every time Com has a Hunter's Fury,
kayaknya EG udah nggak mau ngetrol kayak FPX kemarin nih. Udah mau serius nih, main cepet nih EG nih. Wow.
And more so, just the fact that Jorgamo is such a menace when it comes to this A site. Definitely an issue. Pressure again being placed into mid.
Nice.
Goes back for more.
Nice, Kiwi, nice.
That extra little bit of damage, Spam trying to deny Kiwi the opportunity to get that operator, and it actually has. I thought he was going to continue that push, but backs away.
Yeah, maybe worried about a second player following through at any moment. I'm not sure, but they've left it on the floor for now. A valuable weapon for this squad. Instead, maybe looking for this orb. They could get the Blade Storm online right here and now, hold the long-range angles. You know the op's not in the round. Good idea. Now, last time around, Kiwi wasn't able to get up to all too much. This Blade Storm didn't have quite the same impact as we've seen. His mobility already out of the game. His updraft used up. So he won't be a menace.
No one walks away.
Anymore, but he doesn't need to be. A lockdown buys them
Good.
all the space.
Ow.
Through the smoke. Well, let's
Mengerikan.
add another tally to the counter in the audience. Foot on the back foot now for sure.
Wah, Moji hampir mati. Wah. No one walks away.
Thrown into the round, and it
Ayo,
might not
Ethan.
even be enough. The man advantage
Waduh.
going back, but at least Krax has been able to hit a nice shot, giving them an opportunity. The close angle is so important, but Jorgamo still just going strong, leaving two remaining.
No one walks
Both
away.
with Sheriffs hiding within this vibe.
Oh!
Krax has managed to double, but still comes down to one. And Com will not allow the
Gila,
mischievous Foot to get away
Com.
with anything.
Wow,
What an
mengerikan.
incredible effort with Sheriffs nonetheless. At the time, not quite as
FUT
close as
tim mana?
it needed to be. If
Turki.
Kiwi was alive a few more seconds, that stray shot
Itu
through the
udah
smoke
ganteng
doesn't
loh,
catch
udah
him.
padahal
Who
sheriffnya
knows?
loh. Tung
Who
tung.
knows? But
Tapi
6 to
komnya
1
emang
nonetheless,
kayak dajal sini kom.
despite a little bit of a stumble.
Nih, ini
I don't
keren
even
nih.
know if I
Dung
wanna
dung.
blame that on him
Boh.
realistically, what can you do about a player hitting shots like that? And we've seen this from Krax in the opening series as well. He was
TO nggak sih ini
unbelievable.
harusnya?
But it's not enough this time. And Foot, having invested
Mungkin
a
abis
lot
ini
of
baru
their
TO kali.
lower, like some of their ultis, Blade
Oh,
Storm,
time out
Viper's
ini.
Pit as well.
Kirain kagak time out.
They're gonna decide this time. to call
6-1
upon us.
coy.
Gotta play it with their rifles and run it down on more conventional terms. So far,
6-1 coy.
EG's come ahead.
Coy, 6-1 coy.
As well, just maybe some of the players
FUT
haven't
mulai
quite
bingung coy.
Moj was
Kok
probably
kita
the
sama
best
aja coy
player
katanya
when
gitu.
Played Pearl last time out, only with a couple of kills at the moment. At a captain, okay, we've seen him be an assist king before and then slowly come into the game, but they're going to need it a little bit earlier this time around. As said, like we've seen them have an incredible defensive half, and the attack we didn't get to witness because they were so dominant last time out, but this is now starting to become a bit of a danger. I think all the pieces looking like they're there at the moment for the side of EG. Jorgamo still causing
Lagi
problems.
Q.
Com has been unreal so far, winning them that Red Bull
Baru
clutch
hari
in the
ini match-nya
previous
ada
round, and
lah kemarin lebih parah lagi dong. Kemarin lebih ngebantai lagi
realizing they're
coy.
at least going to want, say, 4 or 5 rounds if they are
EG
going to have
dalam
themselves
misi
an
merebut
opportunity
Piala
in that
VCT yang
second half.
tertunda
So
di Tokyo
just
bener.
taking themselves that timeout. You have to bear in mind, that last round was them using 3 ultimates. Yeah, sure, the investment wasn't that heavy in terms of the rifles. They only had pistols for the majority, but when you lose all of those ults and you don't get a victory, that's more of a problem.
Yeah, that's what it's about, right? Like, they still have the money to buy up here, and the Blade Storm being gone, you won't bat an eye at, but it's the rest of the ultis that went
Waduh.
through.
Gila, Mr. Fallen.
Another
Langsung-
kill just spamming
Wah,
through smokes. It's
gila.
Mr. Fallen
Udah
to go down
sembok
this
Bustio
time.
sih emang
And
kadang
the
suka
immediate
dajal
response
sih.
from Foot. They're quickening the pace. They're moving into the B side now, hidden here.
There's a smoke.
Still Bustio behind the smoke. This is where he's most deadly. Gonna be blinded up again. The flash through. It's
Oh,
caught him, and they
nice,
found
nice,
him, rooted
nice,
him out.
nice.
In the meantime, though, Ada Captain deleted in the attempt to plant the spike. Now gonna be run back a couple more seconds. It's down in the open. Has to be retrieved.
That's the thing. It seems with EG, there's never a man left
Wah.
behind. Such good use of the fragment.
Nice
See,
banget.
already cracks on his last
Mereka
lease
tahu
of life.
gitu loh
Use
dari
the poison orb just to try and give them a spot
Dari
to fly,
suara
but now
pasangnya
full
aja tuh mereka udah
rotation
tahu
has
pasangnya
come
di mana
through.
gitu
The
loh.
entirety of EG already
Nice,
raring to go. The
Kiwi.
Kiwis at least even things up for a second.
Wallbang. Ow, ow.
16 shock darts hunting down both
Wah,
of these low players.
ke-distract.
Maj found Kiwi has
Ke-distract.
to turn up, only good for the one. Krax tries to fade away, dodging bullets. Just one needed to take him down. He is so desperately low, and they're coming so close to finding him. The button seen
dia
up
nggak
above,
ngeliat.
but he
Dia
doesn't
nggak ngeliat
realize
Demon
it,
One
turning at the last
lompat.
moment. And giving Demon One that final kill, that 7th round now locked in for the side of EG.
It just seems like every single time that FUT managed to find a kill, there's a cost fallacy. Like, be it someone getting wallbanged by an operator, a com diving through the smoke.
Oh ya,
to
Kay,
trade out
tolong
his
tambahin
teammates, the
250
fragment onto the spike.
poin.
Like, there's always damage being achieved by
125
EG.
poin
The
ke Mamon
utility
ya. Tadi dia
has
give
been
5
sublime,
soalnya.
But even just their timing and synergy has been one of the main differences so far in this matchup. 7-1 in the lead over on this defensive side. Again, we're going to be back down to
Udah om
very
tadi,
little.
oke.
An orbital strike for Anna Captain
Ox,
that's been
Ox.
sitting there for a while. And in this sort of round, would you even use it?
Opportunity would have to present itself. For now, that's not the case. Slow approach from EG. They even wanted to get a little aggressive to start, but once they see this wall go down, that space taken, they're going to give it up. Play a little bit more passive.
Aduh.
And that op on the corner is suspected. You can see the jump peaks, but now taking the wider
Gua pikir
angle.
bakal
Great reading
piercing.
of how this round is breathing out.
Waduh, sama-sama buta.
Flash unfortunately caught Maj there as well, so there was no follow through.
Okay, constantly once more. For the rest of FUT, starting to, again, go back to the same take. They've been splitting back through B every single time. Com and Boostio have been having a field day. Again, going to be tagging up the information. Boostio just waiting to swing off his teammates' contact, supportive shot.
Oh, nice.
But at a captain, he's on the board.
Wow.
But there is the dart straight through.
Wah,
Com's
gila.
utility has been almost as good as his fragging power throughout this game so far.
Oh,
Unfortunately, he
dikit
doesn't
lagi
get
kanan
assists for his
dikit.
own kills.
Oh.
And he is going to find the wall bang.
Gila.
This site is just locked out. And
Oh,
Maj,
nice.
well, finally going
Wah.
to take one, but as said, the
Angle
trade is
tipis.
immediate. This is so clean from EG.
And from the first time we saw this guy on the international stage, a man that
Gila.
is calm, 12
EG
and 4
sih
right now.
masih
I've been a
bagus
big fan of
banget
him.
aimingnya
He might have
EG.
been one of the first players picking up the Odin. That might have been why initially, but his support play and his patience, always a treat to watch.
Gila, gila.
Demon One paired up with him.
Ini
It's a
EG
deadly
dan
duo.
FNATIC,
And even look at the damage,
dua tim
right?
yang masih
Attic Captain
stabil
found
ini
that
dari
kill that
Master.
We saw on the board just seconds ago, but it left him on 55 HP after running through Boostio's Nano Swarm. I think even being tagged through the wall beforehand. At that point, yeah, it's an easy follow through when he goes for the plant. And this is the thing, no matter what happens to EG, even when they're losing a player, the dominoes have already started to fall.
As said, it's that cost fallacy.
Iya, dari suara doang bisa tahu.
A chance.
Emang gila ini game sense-nya.
I've noted as well that we spoke about Ada Captain yesterday. I think it was 20 assists and a half.
Yes.
Ethan's already on 13, so he's looking to try and beat him.
Jealous.
Again, they're going to split through R in towards this A site. A lot of counter utility.
8-1 coy.
And slow them down. Lockdown even available as well for Boostio.
Tadi kasih poin
If he
kah, coy?
decides to use it. And Hunter's Fury, as said,
Oh,
Tom, he always
mati lo.
finds something.
Wah, kom sih
With the
gila
lockdown
sih.
in tow, Ada Captain has at least found one. Not quite clearing Ethan, but even still, they keep the advantage for a moment.
3v3.
Neck and neck at least with FUT grabbing the plant. Orbital strike used.
Kom jago
so not online,
banget
it's just
main
the Blade Storm
sofanya,
that's charging
coy.
in and taken down.
Nice,
Shot out of the
2v2.
sky by Cracks, but there's a response.
2v2,
Calm not letting this
2v2.
one slip. They've got to push forward. A vague idea of where Cracks is, perhaps Mr. Fallen, though. It's revealed moments ago. Putting those pieces together for EG. They'll look to peek this one.
Ooh.
Oh my god, the damage is incredible. Cracks down to just a
good
sliver. Now
distract.
the last man standing. Double
Oh
peek
my
and dealt
god.
with.
Nice trade,
A
nice
triple for
trade, nice
Ethan.
distraction,
They
nice
push up to
util. Oh
9.
my
This lead can't
god.
stop extending. For Evil
EG.
Geniuses.
Gila,
It's
EG.
just ridiculous. Another Red Bull clutch, and I feel like we're just going to be brown-nosing Com at this point, but he even uses the dart to fake out as his
Ganteng.
teammate peaks. It's just disgusting.
Distraction-nya
switching
bagus
between these
banget.
players is just unmatched, and right now, it seems like
Dia
FUT just can't quite
nge-recon
deal with it.
dart
Even
cuma
in the
buat
clutch
distraction,
situations,
gila.
That was one of the things, I think, in the series versus T1, I think it was 7 1vx's over a very
Ethan
short
kayaknya
amount of time,
bersyukur deh dia
considering
pindah
the
dari
match wasn't
100
very long
tips.
at all.
Ethan bersyukur banget tuh dari 100 tips ke EG tuh dia kayaknya good choices itu.
They were comfortable to play on the FUT side.
EG's map choice and FUT's side choice.
Yeah.
They wanted to begin on attack, so sure, we can read into it as yesterday we saw their defense, we know that it's strong, no doubt about it. But it's going to have to be real strong if this keeps up, and even then, if it stops right here and now, 9-3 at best on the half, it's a tough scoreline to recover from. For now, patience, again, on display for the side of EG. FUT, this is probably one of the
kemungkinan besar sih gue nggak nonton ya guys ya. Kemungkinan besar gue nggak nonton PRX jam 2 pagi karena gue pasti tidur. Kita nontonnya yang jam 5 aja.
This isn't the game plan right now. They're trying to find options.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Every time there's been space left for EG, it's been left intentionally. It's not like there's been any gaps found. That's a big kill though. Com going walkabouts and a captain being able to take him out. Boostio left with absolutely no support. He needs to be a hero here, but he's not even checked on. He's managed to find a couple.
Nice
of course. The second player in
2-2.
cracks can be brought back from the depths, but that's going to take time. And that time gives a moment. Look at Demon One. He's trying to watch for that exact position. The spam does a lot of damage, and then Ethan finds him anyway. They'll finally get themselves into that afterplant, and for the first time in a while, it looks like a possible round for FUT. But we'll see if they can take it.
I really like that from Ethan, just holding the lineup that whole time, waiting for the res to come through. Hoping to get both. The play out. Ethan, no flashes. They got to just try peek those angles. Lose a lot of HP in the process. Demon One down low. Doesn't stop him from eliminating Maj. They still need to root out Mr. Fallen, who's just swung out wide, looking to take the fights. Lockdown in play, on the way. The swing needs to come in. Mr. Fallen, it's being diffused right under his nose. And now the detain will get close, but the detain interrupts. Timing now everything, and that spike is already quite far gone.
Nice banget.
Ethan's realizing now, trying to back away, but
nice
it was way too late.
Nice.
Well, I don't think you're going to see a round victory like that too often. A player getting the spike to half. He basically was just hoping his opponent wouldn't peek, but Mr. Fallen played that to perfection. Finally seeing
kan kemarin tanding di LCQ Amerika, tapi nggak menang juga.
The Red Bull clutch coming out in their favor this time around. Nonetheless, it is still an absolute mountain to climb for FUT. This last round is more than a necessity, and well, you mentioned your...
You know, I mean, Wubber's choice is there to lose the round a different way, realistically. Yeah, I think he probably played the only way that he gets away with it. Yeah. Just sticking it. Didn't work out. Unlucky. Now you move on to the final round of the half. 9-2 on the scoreline. FUT still possible to push up to 3
Reconnya.
for the curse at best. For this 12th round, FUT much more decisive on where they want to go, feeling out that A pressure. And they'll instead look to take it this way. When I talked about Calm earlier, my boy taking out the Odin way back. And he'll make it work again. They're also triple stacked.
Rame tuh.
3 players spotted by the drone.
Rame tuh 3 player dalam drone tuh. GG dong.
Demon One, yeah, the pause. I think just knowing that their opponent has that information, but it means they're slowly being boxed in. Timing here could be everything.
No one's watching it.
Yeah, he's looking back
Ethan
and forth.
NRG dulu abis 100 tips.
How Moj just managed to get away with that one, and now Orbital Strike leaves Com dead to rights.
Ethan NRG dulu baru 100 tips tahu.
But then strikes Ethan. Another one coming up for Boostio, but it's left all onto Jorgamo. The player wrapping back around FUT.
1v2. Oh my god, kirain.
Make this one a 9-3 half. It was squeaky in the end.
Kita lihat gimana caranya mereka bertahan.
At least FUT got something. The fact is EG is so far in the lead
14-7 sih Kom.
EG have got to be feeling incredibly
Ethan
belum
nyala banget nih Ethan nih.
Maybe threw in a curveball by switching it up and
BLG lawan FNATIC pilih mana? Gua pilih FNATIC sih tetap sih. Cuma gue penasaran banget lihat gameplaynya Blibli.
We know their defense can be stronger, but for now, EG seem to have it in the bag, Tom. Now we spoke a little bit earlier on to a player called Jogamo. Let's see what he had to say.
Feels good because it's my first champion event as a player. Watching it for the past couple of years, like grinding my way to the top to be on a professional team, to be like on like a top tier team. It goes in the books, you know. I always think of it, you know. I always love it. I gotta cherish every moment I can. There's only 2 North American teams you can root for now. Like that's pretty like mind blowing that like everybody's watching us at the end of the day. That's kind of how I look at it.
Oh, Utah in the hands, panicking. But the paranoia was sent flying, and Demon one man. It's precise, it's surgical, over the top. Tom's consistent with it, lets it loose. Up in mid, Demon one. Of course, he's going to be finding it, but does he expect that? Idol! There's no shot!
Yeah, so we have one more game against FUT, and my parents are gonna be there too. So just having that parents buff that I usually never get at any of these events, it would be like just a blessing, you know, just having them here, you know, it means a lot to me. And I think Boostio, he's gonna get that fire up. He's gonna have that mentality of like, I just dropped 35 on these guys before, I'll do it again. So like having that IGL mindset and his confident
Sekarang grup B ya?
Very easy, I think.
I think
LAX
so,
is
yeah.
Maybe 30
Grup
minutes
B.
away from here. It's only a 12-hour flight for y'all. I hope y'all upgrade to first class.
Wow. He's got some words for the players across the stage, and good thing we're running that with a 9-3 lead. It'd be kind of embarrassing if it swapped around, but you can definitely tell that sense of confidence on the stage. EG have been feeling good, they've been looking good, and big task.
That's the thing. Like we've seen some people on the interwebs getting a little bit salty, a little bit mad at the trash talk, and I gotta say, I absolutely love it. Just the way that this team is willing to talk their shit before the game begins, and then they come in and they deliver. 9-3 up, looking absolutely incredible right now. And I'll be honest, Boostio hasn't really needed to drop 35 kills this time, because right now the whole team is just above and beyond. We're looking to see if FUT can have that same defensive half as last time. 3 rounds currently on the board. They managed a 9-3 half versus T1, but they're going to need to, I feel like, step it up to a higher gear. And already, just look at the sheer pace coming out from EG, straight down in towards that mid connector.
Yeah, FUT had some pace too, but didn't catch anyone, and they're a little late to the party. Now on B long, there's a couple players coming down. Will they even read that? Will there be anyone left alive to read it? Low HP now, stuck in the corner. Demon 1's also being tagged up, but that won't stop him yet again. Able to deliver kill after kill. The shutdown is there with a back and forth for FUT, but they're overextending into this, knowing the spike needs to be planted. They try to interrupt it, and well, they've succeeded.
Baru round 1 apa udah kedua? Baru map 1 ini, map 1.
Yeah, one that was necessary. It has to be said. If they're going to turn this on its head, they needed to get themselves this pistol round. Definitely a close one, and with the way that Com's been playing, I wouldn't have been surprised if he was able to close that one out.
Dropnya ada kok, drop title low rider. Nanti ada lagi tanggal 17 kalau nggak salah ya.
Chance to do a little bit of damage, and on the other side of things, investing into 3 rifles, just
Kalian tahu nggak sih tadi pas FNATIC masuk, kan ada interview tuh. Terus dipikir kayak di TikTok, Derek, can I interview you with a quick question? Terus dia buka headset. I'm listening to New Jeans Super Shy. Oh, oke. Dipikir TikTok anak dajal, lucu banget. Dajal FNATIC tuh meme banget dah. Waduh, nge-whiff.
And a lot of this round can even just be seeing how FUT like to set up in these initial rounds on their defense. You're catching out where the turret is.
Super shy. Udah ketahuan banyak tuh.
EG had been putting down on their own defensive side.
Ntar gue kasih lihat klipnya deh.
But then when it comes down to crunch time,
Pikir kayak TikTok yang orang lagi denger headset terus ditanya di tengah jalan, what are you listening to?
they've actually managed to take.
Ntar gue kasih lihat videonya deh. Kalau lagi abis ini deh, abis map ini gue kasih lihat. Videonya lucu banget. Gue baru lihat dari Twitter. Dari X maksudnya. Elah akses.
But now as they again shift focus to the B site, they should find this much more open.
Yeah, I like the fact though that FUT are just basically doing exactly the same as we saw from their opponents.
Good vibes banget FNATIC, parah. FNATIC tuh sangat warming vibes banget. Temen banget gue. Kayak bengkai dulu. Waduh.
Okay, peekaboo. See you later, Mr. Farland. And at the back of the site, a firing squad, but they might even try and wrap back around. Demon 1 is trying to hold off those rotations.
Nice QE.
As it begins, the spam's going to be coming through, but it seems like he's managed to get it. The thing is, though, the full force of FUT barreling down on this team, and it will be the cleanup in the
apakah
end.
akan menjadi pembalasan?
A plant for at least a little bit extra. but ultimately we will
Apakah akan menjadi comeback untuk FUT di attacking side? Mari kita lihat.
The round that was expected, was anticipated. A few curveballs there. I mean, if the clock wasn't so low, maybe you wouldn't have as much of a rotation played out previously, but you wouldn't have seen Demon 1 give up that spot in heaven quite as quickly. Maybe he catches one off guard, and well, the second he gets a weapon in his hand, everything can flip on its head. This is the round where they will truly fight for it, and just looking at the positions of some of these players on foot, it looks like they want that aggression up through A main once more, maybe posting Kiwi up to hold the control, but EG have no intention of giving them a fight there.
No, early default just being held. A little bit of aggression from the defenders. They're going to get that orbital strike online very early on, and the spam from Mr. Fallen and Moj has at least done a little bit of chip damage. Ultimately, that control has gone the way of EG, though. Not going to allow that push up on one side of the map. And you can see the patience of Boostio just watching for any aggression. Just making sure that there's not going to be any cheeky business, especially in a round like this where it's kind of expected because of the slightly weaker weaponry.
Kiwi's jiggle peek will be spotted momentarily. Boostio even goes in for the pre-fire. That could have been very dangerous indeed. I guess the idea being that by showing that presence, he'll fall back. He'll start to concede the control, and instead he stayed up.
Curse kamin, real kamin, curse.
So they'll stay in position. Three
Yo
players
Gemo.
still on B. Lined up in the open. Demon 1 the first to fall. Good tag and follow through. Mr. Fallen already good for 2. And Jogamo is low. He has to be so cautious and going for those fights. The body was the only target needed, but it won't land.
And that's the thing, because they've managed to go through ARC, this is going to be an interesting battle of timing. Kiwi's push-up, if he goes any further, he might catch Jorgamo.
Oh!
He spotted him out. The
1
damage is
HP
done,
boy.
but the spike is already hightailing its way in towards the A site. They haven't spotted the players making their way through middle, so if anything, FUT might just believe they have them trapped in, and instead, it's going to have to be the full retake.
And the problem is how much space they've given up. They'll have to take a while on the way back through or risk a player being in a corner that they can't anticipate. Jogamo's very low. 12 HP on the way around. Better get that turret before it gets you. That came so close.
Ngeri banget,
With a
6
nano
HP.
at his feet as well. But he's out of there with 6.
Yeah, unfortunately, the aggression of
Gila, FUT juga lead semua tiga-tiganya.
It's looking good other than the HP.
Bisa nih.
A lot of very low
Triple kill di sini bisa banget.
Already takes the first. The orbital strike will push.
Wah, tuh kan. Triple kill bisa banget, udah gue bilang.
Just Kiwi remaining. He knows where both players are. Takes a lot of damage on the way back.
Jogemo 6 HP nge-clutch boy.
Rise once again.
Kelas.
They look like they had that one, but somehow America's #1 strikes once more.
Well, that was a game of inches right there. Unbelievable to see EG taking strides by miles. Ethan's repositioning even. They thought they had him boxed in. And of course,
Cahaya yang masuk kamar Devin terang banget. Emang terang karena kaca gue gede. Dan gue tuh direct sunlight gitu loh, kamar gue tuh ngadep timur kan. Jadi kalau matahari terbit tuh buset terang banget kamar gue. Nih lo mau lihat gak kamar gue nih? Ini lampunya mati. Lampu gue tuh mati. Ini lampu gue nyalain.
He hasn't really needed to assist anyone. He's been finding all of the frags himself.
Last few rounds, bad teammate, better
Tidak ada
player.
beda, bukan?
You say.
Tidak ada beda.
16th round.
Tidak ada beda. Lampunya lama lampu mati.
That was the way back in.
Terang banget kamar gue, buset. Makanya gue nggak pernah bisa tidur bangun siang tuh gue nggak bisa. Jam 7, jam setengah 8 tuh gue udah kayak buset terang amat.
It's gonna be the play. Well, here's ulti popped.
Tapi udah bagus ya, gue jadi bangun pagi.
Straight down towards the B site. Killjoy utility protecting their back, but it does look like they want to commit, at least commit Demon 1 to this. As he seeks out a fight, Maj is forced back. There's a player up above in the form of Mr. Fallen. He's on the edge of the smoke, hasn't come through just yet. Just spams, that's all he's looking for with his Phantom. No tracers, so good opportunities. Nade out. Oh, Nade is good. And Maj is even better. The spam's now going in their favor, and it seems like FUT have found a foothold on this round.
Yeah, this is where it gets troublesome. You have to try and reposition and find a safe place to plant, and with all the spams, all the different angles, every player rotating in, there just isn't a safe position.
Ooh.
They need someone to give them the fight.
Boostio 1 HP and living the dream, boy.
From the beginning of the round, it would be the greatest clutch ever. If he somehow wins this one, we're going to be writing it in the history books, but with 15 seconds left, no spike, and all the players just watching him, it will be Boostio
10 seconds
just
left.
hiding, cowering back, and holding onto his weapon.
Well, they have an idea where he is. but I think most are too far away to really have a chance.
Now.
You just gotta watch that nano. Okay.
Aduh.
It's popped a little bit early. It's not quite gonna catch him. And he's managed to save that weapon through. Nicely done, considering the economy of EG. You can definitely use that little bit
Gue
of
kalau
a boost.
pagi-pagi di blinding gue mau bridge blinding, terang banget kamar gue
I'm not
langsung.
too surprised. Look, this round here, they didn't really get a chance to see anybody. Just taken down through those smokes. And
Flawless.
Lucio might have an anti-strap for that.
Well, that's the thing. It's the Prime Gaming Flawless coming out from FUT. A great way to
Saatnya Mami Potter berbicara.
into the round, keeping all of those weapons, building up some finances, and on the other side of things, it starts to get a little bit
Pagi,
dicey.
Videla.
That one saved weapon, Jorgamo could potentially invest in a little bit.
Where is
What do you mean, I'm right here?
EGG Man Side Show? Hah, apaan tuh?
We've got a few.
Yeah, there are a few. Paperthin's going to be coming later on as well, so you know.
Pagi Alexandria, pagi Hazel. Pagi Hazel. Hazel mah lagi ngucapin pagi ke Videla. Mari Pin, nyarap udang balado. Saya selamat makan, Neo, selamat makan, selamat sarapan.
Has already been well within their wheelhouse, adapting on the fly. Credit given to Potter. Any doubters silenced quite a while ago, it seems. Going to be getting right back into things. That's it. This round in particular, okay, you've got yourself the Blade Storm onto Demon 1. You've got yourself that saved rifle from Boostio, but the rest of the team are going to be left with very little. Maybe if Com gets himself the Hunter's Fury, I'm starting to be a little bit of a believer. As said, he's always good for one at a minimum, but other than that, you kind of expect this one to be more of the same.
Di sini mau tidur lagi sih gue kayaknya. Kalau ini kelar cepat, gue tidur lagi dulu, baru ntar olahraga. Ngantuk gila.
Defensive side, this is very much how they like to take the control. They'll do the same thing here on the attack. Even the recon through just to clear out those extra angles up behind the boxes.
Oh, nice Kiwi. Comeback nih, comeback.
Not a whole lot to play with here for the side of EG. It's going to be Demon 1 that takes your focus.
Wah.
That takes theirs as well. FUT picking him out
Nice
of the sky.
try dah.
Can't pick those knives back up.
Aduh, duh, duh, duh.
Boostio now becomes the main focus of this round.
Aduh, duh,
See how
duh, duh,
much
duh, duh.
damage he can possibly achieve. Again, a few tagged players behind the box.
Aduh, duh, 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 duh. Nggak boleh masuk, katanya nggak boleh masuk.
From the Turkish roster rather than anything else, they seem acutely aware that this position has been lost, and with the cross being held by Moj, it would mostly come down to awful timing from there, but there it is. That's as bad as timing
Nice
can get.
trade.
Mr. Farlin is going to quickly find the trade, and now Ethan.
1v3.
35 seconds spike
Akapa.
to be retrieved, and
Apakah 1v3?
just sitting back and waiting.
Bang, 28 detik bang, masa mau muter ke B bang?
Like we talked about the other day from FUT, their discipline definitely being worked on the past couple months since their last international appearance.
Oh, nice try.
The payoff is there.
Kalau tidur lagi paling sering bangunnya jam berapa? Oh, gue udah bangun tidur lagi. Biasanya jam 9. Paling siang gue jam 9 sih. Pernah jam 10 sekali. Itu karena gue kemarinnya tuh capek banget gak tidur sore. Jadi kayak gue mau tidur lagi gitu. Dan gue gak ada apa-apa besoknya. Jadi kayak gue mau tidur lagi. Pernah gue bangun jam 10. Itu tersiang gue. Tapi paling siang gue yang paling sering tuh jam 9 kalau gue tidur lagi. Biasanya jam 7 gue udah bangun.
The build-up though is going to come in towards
Curse nih guys,
That's
curse.
where Kiwi is
Nice
waiting
flash.
an instant pop flash just to try and delay them off. The same on the other side.
Tipis.
It's close but a miss.
But Demon 1 hasn't been deterred either. Look, he's just running it down. Trying to take all that space while they hunt down
Mati.
Kiwi.
Gila Kom.
Ridiculous with the Hunter's
Ini
Furies.
Kom
just doesn't miss.
Kom trackingnya gila banget.
You're not too worried about Kiwi picking up the
Trackingnya Kom gila banget coy.
They can look towards the B site and they've at least faded out the lockdown.
Ulti dia pasti minimal mati satu. Itu susah loh.
With 3 players already here at the solo defender on the A site, EG are just gonna pump the brakes, wait this one out a little bit longer. Operator's actually going to be going back in this time. It's found new hands, new blood in the form of Moj. He's not going to hit the shot either, leaving them in a dicey position. Rifle retrieved, but still.
Pernah abang lu tidur dari pagi sampai sore jam 5? Enggak pernah. Gua nggak pernah tidur pagi.
35 seconds
Gua pasti
left.
tidurnya
They're gonna have to
normal.
make a move eventually, not knowing how many players are on the back of that side towards the elbow. Boostio finds the first. That's Maj. They know that Krax was around here, and they'll deal with him. And
Krax
with that,
mati.
well, it looks like a pretty easy site take. Not too many players left alive to spam back, and the plant's already been found. Lockdown if things get very scary, but with only 2 players that they're up against, and the positions that they've got, I mean, all the control is theirs. They can run this clock right the way down.
Nice.
There you go. Boostio's third seems to
Nice
lock
trade.
it in. Nice try by
Nice trade,
Adacaptain.
nice trade,
I don't know where
nice
that
trade.
second kill came from. The result is the same. 11 for EG, now 2 away from locking in this map.
Yeah, and this was something
Dua
mentioned
menang lagi,
when it
EG
came to
kelar
this
nih.
yesterday. Obviously, we were lucky to have Baby Bay here, and he was mentioning the fact that
Ini loh trackingnya bagus banget lo lihat. Mati tuh. Udah nggak bisa apa-apa si Kiwi.
and giving them so much util ready for the retake. EG, on the other hand, just very happy to take themselves a pause.
Bukan nggak cek corner, itu lagi fokus duel dia, lagi fokus duel sama yang di tower, di hall. Jadi yang ada di onside dia udah nggak perhatiin.
And wow, it may have been EG taking a pause within the round.
Watch party besok berarti gabung sama Sabeton, betul sekali.
Try and find
Betul,
a solution. They are only
betul,
4 rounds behind,
betul,
and as we've mentioned, they
betul.
have been very good on this defensive side the prior time we've seen at this tournament. Even still, though, you do have to feel like a couple of solutions will eventually be found by EG.
That's the thing, right? Like, FUT's way back in, it's the pistol round gives them that injection of rounds. They lose the third, they follow back with a bit of a fight. But even if it continues like this, you're still going to see EG walk across the line. It has to be near flawless on the fight back in. Only a 4-round deficit, but that's a lot when you're up against this attacking side of EG.
Just been watching Demon 1 just slowly tracking the head of Boostio with his operator. Doing a little bit of drawing while we wait. They've actually given the operator over to Boostio, making me think this is going to be a much more explosive round, especially considering your opponents have just taken a pause, trying to adapt for your slow pace of round, waiting. Just a burst play into the site might not be something they'll be expecting. Maybe thinking of holding that utility a little bit longer, and already you can see just the instant pop flash setup and that smoke being baited out immediately from the side of Adacaptain.
Well, sedikit itu nggak sakit apa ya, matanya udah biasa mereka.
Yeah, get the sense just looking at EG's setup that they're trying to bait out the push-up on B, right? This whole round, we got Jogamo. We saw Adacaptain have success with it and failure with it in the similar position. You make early presence on A, you push up, you give them control, and you hope that they fall into your lap afterwards. But what has happened is they've pushed middle on the side of FUT, taken the control, heard the turret get called back, heard the rotations come through, and should have a good idea of this B-site play that's about to unfold. But the rotations on their own side have taken a little bit. Actually, it looks like they even thought it was A. They just cleared it out now, realizing it, but the players aren't going to be here on time.
Nice molly, nice molly.
Well, they're able to wait outside the lockdown, so maybe this will work out. They've got a flanker
Agak mati.
who hasn't been
What the
spotted
hell?
just yet.
Nggak wave itu tadi. Gila, padahal tipis banget itu.
Maybe able to find one before they get in. The Molotov has done work to deny at least a little bit longer, but the site is going to fall into the hands of evil geniuses. Adacaptain trying to make a play through, and Moj will be the one to do it instead.
Wow, 1v2.
Still with that operator in hand, and he's going to get destroyed by Kiwi. An 8th round onto the board,
Nice
but
try
a
dah.
solid hold on the side.
11-8 nih, 11-8 nih. Waduh.
Luckily, I was going to say there's enough finances, but it still seems like they're going to have to go a little bit lower than they'd like.
Yeah, maybe. There's definitely going to be weaknesses there. I think on the side of FUT last round, really good idea. You can see that they're putting the pieces together as the round goes on. 3-man stack on A. One guy pushed up mid. Hear the rotations. Misread, thinking that it's the A side. But then the fact that Maj,
Wah, Kapten punya
he destroyed the
ulti.
alarm bot and went running all the way back around. It puts a sense of urgency in the attacker's boots. They're thinking the flank is coming in. We need to either catch him and adapt or rush the site before those rotations come all the way through. And they end up running right into Mosh, who'd very quickly rotated and was there to back up his buddies. It's an 8th round. building blocks starting.
Otomatis, gue kalau bangun nggak pernah pakai alarm, selalu bangun otomatis. Kayak gini gue bangun jam 6 tuh otomatis.
Having to reverse sweep it starting on bind. We're gonna see the
Bang, nggak ada duel bang, capek banget. Gak ada duel? Apaan gak ada duel?
Still likes Boostio to 1
HP. 1 HP and living the dream, boy.
Oh, Timmy the turret almost had.
Aduh.
He's been a little bit unlucky. There we go.
Timmy's
gone. Not going to be surviving any further in this one. Boostio, he's either the unluckiest or the luckiest. It depends what way you look at it. He's surviving, but only just. The defenders also aren't just sitting there. They're not waiting to lose all of this map control. And a captain starting to push up, but now they start to get pressured from Art through the smoke. They go and it's a good chance for Rex to farm up a few extra kills. Again,
Comeback gun.
Boostio.
Flawless gun.
1v5.
Flawless.
Not quite. No, not quite. Not quite.
Flawless.
He was almost there.
Coming out of this
11-9.
round, I mean, FUT are building a bank. They don't have much of a chance to stumble, really, to catch themselves. But it's the 3 ultis online as well. That Viper's Pit and the Orbital Strike could be game changers for this defensive side. And if paced out correctly, might make it most of the way towards equalizing. It's been promising these last couple. But again, the rifles come back out for EG.
Ayo FUT, kau pasti bisa.
Similarly, at a captain, slow start, fragging-wise, is coming back into this game. The amount of delay he's able to put in on this A site makes it very difficult for EG to actually take a lot of that space. It seems like the contact from Moj in middle and then the aggression consistently surrounding the map, it makes it very difficult for EG to somewhat find this space. And as of right now, they've struggled to string any rounds together. They're going to use a lot of utility.
Buffering, eh? Hey. Halo? Waduh.
But instead, he's getting pressured on the other side.
Yeah, and his teammates can't really come out to help just because they're being...
Buffering lagi sih.
But Moj manages to buy the time.
Ke-skip momennya gua. Nice Moji. Boostio lagi sendiri.
He is decimating the EG
GG
squad.
boys.
4 kills found.
Nice.
Up to double digits now, hot on EG's heels.
Yeah, there's always the question of when do you start to believe that a team is going to be able to turn this one around, and I think we might be getting to that point right about now. 10 rounds on the board, double digits for FUT, and more so, more importantly for me at least, we're seeing those superstars come online. Moj on this defense has again been a menace. The same as last time out, just starting evidently on his weaker side, and EG just slowly. This was 9-3.
Wah, Iko lagi EG. Iko lagi EG.
Early shock dart put through to try and destroy Killjoy utility, but it is more of a ruse than anything else, as they are.
EG mulai panik,
Core just making their way in towards this A site. It's a double up though. They are waiting. Or being collected by Com. I don't mind that at all. It is impact paramount whenever they have that ult online, but it's still a little bit away. As are all of their ults, in fact. None of their ults are close to being online, other than Com's, which is 3 orbs off.
It's a conventional round. I think we're seeing the stack up towards the A site because Moj has Viper's Pit, the confidence to play with it. Operator holding down B long. So that's just 2 people, 2 places that they've got to hold. And then the rest of the squad waits for the, I guess, what they hope, what they expect to be coming through, which is an A play. They've read it correctly to start. They've got their Killjoy utility in play. Mr. Fallen, Ada Captain, and Cracks all close by. Molly and Fragment to keep them back outside of the nanos.
Pagi Julia.
Utility will be countered out.
Bangun jam berapa? Tadi jam 5 gua bangun.
Manpower here to take those fights and convincingly close out this round. You would think Mr. Fallen very low on HP, still going for fights.
Oh,
all right.
11-11.
He's only 5 HP.
Apakah akan jadi 11 nih? Kalau EG siapapun yang enggak sih. Kalau FUT kalah mereka masih punya duit banyak.
Well, once again, separate
tapi kalau EG kalah,
it's their buy round, and losing this, Tom, the squad that's been leading the whole game.
Gila. EG kesusahan lawan FUT coy. Balas dendam coy.
A map stolen out from right under their nose.
Yeah, the scary thing as well is after this we then head into Bind, which I don't know if people remember last time out they were playing a Rainer and a Chamber. It was definitely one of their weirder comps, an attempt to try and catch FNATIC off guard in that grand final that they played in Tokyo, but I assume they will have gone back to the drawing board, otherwise they probably would have just banned it straight out. But to be testing that first time versus a deadly FUT squad, a map down, that would be devastating. And all the way from being 9-3 in the lead, the only round they have won is 18 excluding the bonus, which again, you kind of expect them to be winning the bonus round. The fact is though, they're giving Potter that opportunity. Now guys on the other side is going to have the same opportunity to try and maybe level the minds of the squad, but you are seeing just that depth of FUT. 2 kills between top and bottom, everybody now performing on that other side. And I'm looking at Demon 1. He is someone who we know can take over matches, who can win them rounds on an individual scale. He's sat at the bottom at the moment, not by a lot, but this would be a time for him to have one of those hero rounds. Definitely tougher, though, coming into that attack.
Well, the America's #1 seed already taken the distance. It's going to be all the rounds, and maybe some more. The side of FUT on the defense, 3 stack up on B. Same old setup. Same old approach from this squad. Again, you'll see that Viper orb in play, blocking out control over the double doors for the side of FUT as they stick with a 2-man hold of B. Shifting late, not even late into the round, very early into the round, they've abandoned A. Maybe sensing out how slow some of these pushes have been for EG, or expecting them to have a bit of an adaptation rather than coming through hard and main.
EG nggak boleh kalah nih. Kalau EG kalah sih, udah fix FUT menang.
Almost selling some information in towards this B site, trying to bait.
Nobody can win the ring, boy. Ooh, you get me when I win, boy. What it is, hope. What's up? Every good girl need a little rush. Every good boy need a little
towards middle. He's expecting pressure to come through here. Both sides have definitely favored that, but this time it seems like the majority, at least, is going to be leveled into this late
comeback. Mau sakit.
That's exactly where Kiwi
kanan.
some watches.
Kanan.
They've concealed their hand as well. The drone coming around.
Boom.
Spot him out. So Kiwi is able to catch him by surprise. Demon staying at the bottom. Never on that scoreboard. Viper's Pit used. This is great. EG are avoiding the powerful ult, avoiding the operator as well, but they've got to be quick. They've got to run head first into this KJ setup. Do they have a knife on the way through? Not online for Cracks.
Aduh,
Not online for Ethan.
Aduh.
Onto the back of the site, the nade is in. It's forcing them out into the open, but they're just taking the fights, winning them as they go. The plan desperately trying to be found. It comes at the cost of Kong's life. Ethan left on the spike all alone and flooded by FUT. 11 rounds turned to 12. And somehow it's FUT with map point.
Oh my god, Pagi Lyoko.
What's going on? EG are looking like they're
crumbling. Kalah coy sama FUT coy.
Walking into that operator of Kiwi. It's going to be one of the freest shots he's probably had all day.
Ini map picknya EG lagi, bukan map picknya FUT loh. Wah, FUT improve banget.
They a rotation of had a captain and Mr. Fallen, but they didn't move even for a second.
Di comeback gila. 9-1 dari 9-3 di comeback jadi 13-11 boy. Di pur 9 coy. Oh, nggak mungkin menang EG. Lu lihat force by utility-nya dikorbanin, nggak ada turret. Nggak mungkin menang.
They're ready for Kiwi. They're watching for him. This time he's not going to find that initial fight.
It was close on the follow-up as well, but his dash is gone now. That's a big factor. Mobility limited, and in fact, completely taken away. Kiwi still able to get one.
GG dah lu. Mati dah. Gila, backup ultinya ngeri banget.
But it might not be enough. That a captain still with a massive clutch in front of him. The first not even found, tagging up Busio, teammates repositioning. And a lifeline for EG with overtime secured.
Wah, OT gini bos.
For a moment. They have brought this one all the way back from the depths.
Mau tidur
it was
padahal.
Looking like a done deal after the streak of rounds that was had, but back to basics. Again, we're going to see that Hunter tree every time. It almost seems like when that ultimate is online, EG just can't lose themselves the round, and the disruption caused, the opener found by Demon One, and they are still living in this map. OT, everything gets reset. No ultimates online.
Lihat muka gua putih banget, coy.
Still a chance that they could take their map choice, but now for FUT, they're going to go onto that attack side. Interestingly, something we didn't see too much of, Kiwi's going to go for the operator. Try and deny some of that early aggression coming out of the side of EG. They were quite happy to try and challenge for map control, but in this round at least, a much more passive stance.
That recon caught a few of the FUT players outside of A. Information for EG, not really reacted to. If anything, they go lighter on this A side. Start to move around.
Insane play.
Grabbing control, leaving a player on each extremity. We've seen this from them before. These are the much slower rounds they like to attempt and find their own opportunities as the round unfolds. Let EG make a mistake. For now, that certainly isn't happening. A lot more presence from this defensive squad around the middle area and around these spots that Kiwi has historically loved to just sneak and slip his way into.
Look at this double up though. Two players here. The expectation of Boostio will be there. The pop flash good.
Oh
and
my God, Demon
is
One
already going to double up. Looking for a little bit more. No trade to be had.
Demon One ngamuk.
Considering going back in here. In the meantime, we've seen the walk up on long, but you can already witness on the map that Boostio is firmly watching towards this. It seems like Kiwi trying to maybe bait some sound cues of presence on the other side and leaving Boostio somewhat alone. He's actually going to go forward, maybe gifting his opponents a chance, but also being a bit of a snake within the grass, not expecting him to be up this close. 10 seconds now for FUT to try and find something within this round. Mr. Fallen, he's got to plant. He's got to go for it right now. No, in fact, there's absolutely no time. Everybody has to die, and it is not going to be happening. He might kill off the majority, but EG will get themselves the round.
Calm jumping for joy to close out that round. Yes, 13 now for EG, and in a map that they were leading from the very get-go. They now finally have the chance to close it out for the first time. It's been an impressive stand from FUT. After just 3 rounds in the first half, I didn't believe in them making it even close to this kind of run. And as we said, we knew that their defense would be good. Once again, it will be tested as they stand on their defensive side, 13-12. Again, that op is going to be bought up by Kiwi here in overtime.
They do it again. The one thing that really worked for them, that last round dash, sprint straight into this B side, and already
Demon One berhasil nyulik loh.
The fake smoke as
Dari drone doang loh.
His opponent, it was a bait,
Oh,
just utilized.
nice.
Nice trade though from Mr. Fallen, keeping things even for the moment. Cracks trying to pounce, holding that backline, maybe expecting there to be a bit more of a repeat, but that early fight has quickly diminished. And just look at the majority of EG. They're backing away from this one, but so are FUT.
Spikes out, grouping up with Jogamo and Calm, the first to leave this site. Calm on his way to A. They're sticking around. 50 seconds, still some time to make a decision. And most importantly, this is where you expect a flanker to come through or a player on the side of FUT to overextend to grab information. They'll look to punish.
They've tried to use the knife against their opponents. Now Cracks will finally spot that this is the place where EG look to make the stand. Boostio blinded up. Cracks watching, but it's Marge instead, and it's a slaughter!
Oh my God, Otek lagi.
They don't even get anywhere close to planting that spike, as FUT will put them down on B. It's defensive round after defensive round again.
Jesus Christ.
As we will continue this one into OT.
Yeah, the repositioning of Maj. These players were swinging through to try and deal with Cracks, who'd been spotted moments ago. It popped that little flash around the corner, timed perfectly with the knife that came in. Although the abilities were down and out, they weren't needed at that point. This is where EG could start to feel frustrated. This map already gone on a lot longer than they expected it to when they shifted into that second half. 13-13, and FUT call a timeout. They're going to gather themselves ahead of this attacking round, which is fair. It's where most of the trouble has been.
Yeah, I think it's the perfect place. Give guys a chance to see if he can find a gap if he spotted anything over the last few rounds within this defense. It's definitely not been easy to really find any mistakes being made by EG, because both teams have just been happy to play super passively, like almost wait for their opponents to make a slip up. And in the last round, it was more so just a slight change in setup. We've seen this the majority of rounds where EG have had that almost contact deep within mid. Instead, they played that close cubby. They had Demon 1 there waiting to catch FUT off guard, and it worked. So now it's almost going to be a game of cat and mouse to work out where EG have set that trap, where they've placed that superstar Jet, and for FUT, well, if they can catch him before he does too much damage.
That's what it's all about. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. Just roll the dice and steam in towards the site. EG's defense, as we said, this is where most teams are putting up the rounds. Another chance to set up a map point. This is their map pick that's being contested for so aggressively. Speaking of aggression, nothing but W keys here. The side of FUT looking to very quickly pressure that B site. More players than usual here though. EG stacked up with 3 ready for this kind.
Gue mesti tidur dulu nih pas break game nih.
Of the site, Boostio hasn't been spotted at all, and he's getting them all, breaking apart this attacking side piece by piece. His third in the round, and 14 found another chance to close it out.
It seems like both teams have decided to go for the same sort of strategy. This rush B taken back from, well, the echelons of time, something that has been tried through multiple esports and failing once more, it seems. A close angle not cleared, and for FUT, that's the blunder. Now we get to see what EG have to offer, and more so, they're going to take exactly the same pause as their opponents. I wonder if we're just going to get another rush off the back of it. Maybe try and play the mind games and then do exactly the same thing, but I almost have to feel like the A site might be due a little bit of love here, Mitch, because the B site definitely hasn't been working for either of these teams.
Especially with some of those rounds that have gone a little quicker. W key strats, and especially for FUT, that's a go-to for a Turkish squad to pull out the quick sucker punch. They were on guard, ready and defending. EG here in this timeout, you can see a lot being said. But it's coming to a close, and we'll have to see what their attacking strategy is.
I hope it doesn't cut to me after that.
I was thinking the opposite, but all right. See how it is. Well, Tom, round 28 about to kick off, and one key difference here, Kiwi doesn't have that operator.
No, it's been something that both teams have been dabbling in, but I think just having that maneuverability, allow for the quicker rotations, and especially with the amount of spams we've had through smokes, it doesn't seem like it makes the most sense. Also, they're going walkabouts, destroying that turret early, but it's the double down, allowing them to know that there's a player on either side. Pop Flash could completely decimate Moj. He's just trying to escape. Both players actually caught by the blind, but somehow he actually comes out with a kill. Kiwi looking like he wants to try and capitalize off that, but will eventually be forced back. Not going to go for an overextension, and again, the early fight comes up even.
Yeah, I think Kiwi's idea was to get out there and help his teammate Moj while he was still alive. You know, lock down that extra angle for him and fight for mid together if his buddy was going to be stranded. But once he falls, the correct decision's absolutely to fall back. Holding on to this control a little bit later towards the doors. And we have seen Boostio with a couple nasty flanks. This time his timing is near perfect, and he'll catch 2 for his trouble. A triple in the round already, and a nail in FUT's coffin. They managed to pick up Jogamo, remove smokes and some utility at least, and they immediately read it. FUT expecting this EG squad to double back and move towards A, and that read could not be better.
Oh, timing is everything. He's probably heard the steps of them running all the way back around. Kiwi has the perfect flank. The turret's still yet to be pulled back for Boostio, so we'll have no knowledge at this point. He's been spotted. Now looks to maybe face back in the other direction, but he hits the shot anyway! Just taking over this round! It took some time for Evil Geniuses, but the map choice eventually goes their way.
Akhirnya.
Much more strenuous battle
Akhirnya.
than I think this squad was expecting. Especially as I said, that second half started out.
Guys, gue mau ngasih lihat kalian ini nih. Gagal ace. Nih. Yang ini nih lucu banget. Mana ya? Ini. Ini lucu banget. Mau di interview kan?
If I may, a very quick question
Derek, I have a very quick question.
for you, sir. Given that
Eugene super shy.
Dirk, if I may.
Brengsek banget. Eugene super shy. Aduh. Udah. Gua mau turu dulu. Gua mau turu bentar. Cepat, bro. Kabarin gua donate kalau misalnya udah mulai lagi game keduanya, guys. Menang EG. Udah mulai. Oh. Aku ultah hari ini. Bimo, happy birthday. Wish you all the best. God bless you, Bimo. Happy birthday ya.
Dog, I mean, Boostio's the truth. Man, he's filling into the villain role so well, where he's got like half of the community that hates him, the other half that loves him right now because of what he's been saying. But when he's performing like that on stage, like, yeah, it's so easy to get invested in his run in the way that he's playing. He probably saved that map in a lot of ways for EG.
That's twice now that the guys saved him in OT against FUT too. Like, yeah, I mean, it's a spark. I really want to give flowers to Ethan for that game. I know Mitch and Tom were rightfully giving credit to Calm, but there's a couple rounds that I want to show that are really, really good from Ethan, where in my mind started the catalyst for that 9-3 half, why it was so good on defense. So look at this round here. This is round 3, where he's coming back into B side after they've lost it. He knives, gets 4 people, runs straight through a molly, and gets a kill here on the backside of this. And then what he does immediately is really, really good. Instantly, there's a smoke coming down from Jogomo, and he's nading inside of this. And then he follows up with, you know, the ability to stay backside, stay alive for as long as possible. And here's where he's trying to get mollied out. This is actually for FUT to come in from the backside, buy him some time, and start a pinch on him. But what he does is he flashes into that smoke you just saw right as that happened, and then Maj is swinging on him, but he isolated the fight. Now you're seeing what everybody in the community has been talking about, the amount of assist and the amount of like value he's giving towards his teammates. He's setting up Jogomo in this A main push, and what I want to show is Jogomo getting the first kill, but the follow-up here as Jogomo stays alive on the backside of this and gets 2 kills, you get another flash coming in from Ethan that is just perfectly timed, because the FUT players that are running through this, look at him. He's trying to dodge a flash right now that has not popped yet, and Jogomo is perfectly timed to swing in this. He's going to get blind, but he also gets the kill. This is the moments that I just love when I'm watching Ethan. It's so consistent. Yeah, it's a little bit hectic throwing that flash, but that's the value when there's a threat like that of these flashes consistently with KO that you don't see from other KOs who are playing this role so often.
I'm glad you mentioned the assist thing. We have some stats here. That map alone, 23 assists. That's more than what some people get in kills. Actually coming into this event, he was leading in average assists around, and also just assists in general. He's had the most assists out of everyone else at this tournament.
Yeah, Ethan's a bad dude, man. And I think the fun thing about an initiator role in particular is a mid-initiator can just kind of go by the wayside. You don't really talk about it. But an excellent initiator, so like some of the best in the world, I think about Leo, I think about Crashies, I think about Ethan in that conversation as well. They stand out in such massive ways, and it's those little things like that lower flash that you were talking about in your last clip, Paula. Those are such a big difference maker. They don't always show up on stats. They don't always even come to fruition. But the value that they offer is just unreal.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, it doesn't show up in the kills or anything like that, but there are some minor things. 0.8 assists per round is just crazy. I mean, you're talking
match kedua game 3
for a really top tier like controller or initiator. That's the sort of thing that he just eclipsed that, and that's why players like Nismo and others are trying to give him credit, because it's stuff that you can't see. It's stuff in the back lines, but he also can frag too. I mean, he showed up on LAN again here in my mind.
Belum coy, belum mulai coy. Tidur lagi dulu ah.
I want to see a Boostio Reina. I don't know how you two feel about this, but I think that's just what we're missing right now, Doug. The vibes, you know, we got to get some Reina in there.
Oh, I think the vibes were great after they won that map, but I don't think they're to the point where they're going to pull out the Reina in the chamber again. I think they're going to have something different. I mean, Potter talked about it in the interview when she was chatting with GB. Like, they have something prepared, they have something ready to go, and I think it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be that, though.
I mean, I would be down for it.
I think for me, the read on that grand finals where they played FNATIC on Bind after banning it throughout Tokyo was definitely that was something that they were trying to prep, bringing in that Chamber of the Reina. But I don't think after watching it, it's going to stick around. I mean, granted, I actually think Reina's not that bad when you have a player like Demon 1, but I don't know, when I see Boostio playing the Sentinel role and doing what he's doing, I kind of feel like you got to stick with what has been working and not switch things up so drastically. I want to see them go a little bit more standard.
Well, the Chamber, I think, is fine. I'd love to see the Chamber. I think that makes a lot of sense. Maybe a Yoru, the Reina, I don't know.
Well, here is the Prime Gaming agent select. They've kept the Chamber. They have moved away, however, from the Reina. What do you guys make of this?
This is like that fracture switch, right, where Boostio goes and plays the Brim. He's quite good at it, but obviously it's not the Jet, and he didn't have that same performance, so I don't mind at all. It's not like anything. Jogmo's really good at Raze, and on maps that he does play that Raze, it's insane. For example, Split. It's so good.
I think one thing very quickly we didn't really touch on this is the fact that FUT almost pulled that thing off, right? Like, and it was off of Heroics. I think about Krax's 2K and how good he was in that shirt. That almost converted into a third, if not for Comms Heroics. Like, this FUT team is a team that looked very good, and a couple of things go a different way. We're having an entirely different conversation. I expect that to be a lot of the same here on Vine.
I just hope the mental is high, because when they've been one map down in a best of 3, they've only ever won it once, and that was against Attacking Seoul Esports back in Tokyo. It's going to be very different.
This didn't feel like the same, you know, in the first matchup between these two teams where FUT, you know, lost a big lead and then the mental collapsed. I don't think that was that at all. This was them actually being resilient, so I don't expect the same second map. I actually really think that this is going to be a tight game.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. Again, I think they showed plenty of promise. I think, again, it could have been a very different situation. They showed so much on Pearl. So given what we know about the fact that EG don't normally play Bind, given that it's a new comp that we're going to be seeing them debuting, there's a chance it's something fun here.
Well, let's just see how resilient this FUT team can be, because if they don't win this map, EG will be locking in a place at playoffs. I can't wait to see this. Over to you, Mitch and Tom.
Thank you so much, Yinsu, Doug, and Bala. Well, as we get into Bind, expecting some flair from the side of EG, Tom. Coming hot off the win in the previous map. You think they're going to take this in 2?
I don't know. I think it's definitely going to be like a competitive matchup. I don't think the comp they played last time was something I really expected to ever see again, but I do like the fact that they've kept the Chamber. I think it gives Demon 1 those sort of opportunities to be that little bit more aggressive on that defensive side. That's exactly where they're going to be kicking things off. And, well, for the other side of FUT, as said, they showed resilience in that first map. I want to see if they've still got it here. Have they been able to reset going into their choice? It's definitely where they're favored.
Well, Flash going down deep to start it up. We've already got the barriers up and a fight about to come through. Jogamo, although we'll give up that control. Start to slowly fall back towards the A site. Stacked up as it is, though. I think it's fair to say FUT are leaning in towards the very site that EG want them to hit. Very, very close, just on the edge of that smoke. Boostio, though, has managed to sneak right by them, and it'll obliterate from behind on short. 3 kills and 2 players left in the bathroom. The spike down in the open, and this round already in the hands of EG. Look at the repositioning from Kong.
Baru match 1.
I think he might just rob away the potential for that ace to come through. Oh, he's missed the shot, though.
Apa nih?
Maybe a chance. I don't want to see him get the kill. I want to see Boostio go for the fight, but
Demon 1 pakai chamber.
He won't give up his life for the ace.
Demon 1 pakai chamber.
He's going up against the full lineup of players. He's not going to get anything done there. It's going to be EG to take themselves the pistol round. And again, it seems like Boostio is so good at positioning himself ready for whatever is planned. Like, the whole idea there is to pop flash straight through the smoke.
Enak banget mencrotnya Boostio.
To basically garner you that extra space. So he just plays close to that utility, avoids any flash, and just has a perfect backstab on the players of FUT. Pistol round going their way. A good start to the defensive side again, where we kind of expect the majority of rounds to come through for either of these sides. And for now, at least. Early pop flash. I like it. The pop flash through in towards showers. Try and find any early aggression. Instead, it's going to be in towards lamps. This is just classics, though, Mitch. Like, realistically, any damage here is a win.
Yeah, that's why you see the
Any
utility thrown
damage
out,
here
just
itu.
trying to push these players into an
Oh, nice
uncomfortable
banget
fight.
Kom.
Or even make
Wah,
them go
lit
down to
dua-duanya.
Yuto alone. Oh no, there it is. The nade with the double.
Kayak gitu.
Serious damage done. That pretty much neuters any possibility for these weaker
ini dia
weapons
bonus
on
round.
foot.
Bonus
EG
round,
with
bonus
a
round.
solid follow-up.
Bonus
They could have
round,
afforded to
bonus
even lose a
round.
player here pretty comfortably, but not even a hope.
I like these sort of maps. This is where you get to see Jorgamo kind of move away from that controller and pick up that raise. As we see on the likes of Split, he can have a little bit more fun, be that a little bit more aggressive. And already getting off to a flyer of the start. Not too many ultimates online, and you look at the weaponry, it's actually quite light going in for EG. You can already see Demon 1 with enough to buy an operator into the next round, but this time out, they haven't opted for it. Actually just sprinting straight down. I don't know how they managed to win this early fight with the weaker weaponry, but they're going to be very happy with that one.
See how much Jorgamo can get done. Oh, he's gone out wide. Nade up top. It's bouncing back, and, well, it's not even playing a role in that. Somehow the Stinger wins out the fight, and EG are looking phenomenal in a round that they should have been able to do some damage in, and instead they're in a 4 versus 1. An ambitious play from Jorgamo, and it works out because he left Maj on 20 or so HP. A third round found for Evil Geniuses, and a start to this map similar to what we saw on Pearl.
Yeah, the differences with Pearl, though, is that they took a risk. They bought an operator up. Yeah. They used their extra finances to basically make that round much more viable. This time they didn't. They had a pistol. They still had a
bonus
stinger.
round pun kalah.
Pushing all the way down in towards the fountain and won 2 fights that I don't know how they managed to take that victory with a couple of players waiting. It's got to be frustrating for FUT. They've witnessed the Guardian on the other side. It seems Moj has some ideas of his own.
Apakah EG udah nggak mau lagi bercanda-bercanda? Udah mau langsung serius membantai? Bustio udah standby.
And the flash doesn't even catch him. The spam's good enough to take one down. Then look who steps up, and look who steps back down. Bustio very quickly dealt with. The spike's in the open.
Nice.
Be defended. That push up from Maj, the one weapon they have to work with now.
Line up bertiga.
Hands potentially,
nice,
but
Ethan.
Through the teleporter he goes, and the reward is tenfold. They know where Maj is, and the Seeker only confirms it even further, locking him into a box. 8 bullets.
4-0 ka bang?
Magazine. We look to reload it. Well, he's going to have to fairly soon. Snake bite out. Player
4-0 ka?
No punish. And all the while, it's a slow flank from Demon 1, biding his time. With the spike picked up, Maj will look to go elsewhere, but look who's there.
Waduh.
It's Ethan.
It's Ethan.
Ethan.
It's the player he knew was there all along. Another big round from it. I do feel like that is just the way that Ethan plays. It's like when they need a hero, he arises, because the start of the round was great for FUT. Able to win a lot of those early duels. I think you see the confidence coming through from Bustio.
Kalau 6-0 sih time out sih.
Again, like we've already seen FUT manage to bring back a huge deficit, but...
All right, then. Look, I mean, they're happy enough with a 4-0 lead after the third round going their way. Even with the economic damage they just received, it's not enough to really deter them, to really put a dent in this side. As we can see, Operator in play, Demon 1 has a TP set up and looks to use it for an early pick. No opportunities given yet, but if Maj wants to cross back, well, it depends. Demon 1's given up the angle.
So they've used the knife early in towards B long. That's where he'll be. And that knife not finding him while the bullet landing in Moj's head will instead give them that information. It seems like FUT had an idea of how to counter him, just guessed the wrong place.
A lot of utility put out here. I think they're certainly getting the read on this B-side play on the way through. It's going to be ignored as Kiwi makes it to the site.
Nice banget itu.
A flank attempted around through elbow that's being caught. Jorgamo got nothing, but the rifle gets 2. And the nade would have been enough to close it up. Yeah, got to step away from his own nade at the end. 5 rounds in all. EG barely breaking a sweat so far.
I don't even think, like, I'll be honest, that second shot didn't look like he was aiming anywhere near him.
That'd have been close.
It just full sprint spraying, but it works out. I think he does most damage to himself through the Molotov, and it's just ridiculous.
Itu lincah banget, bos.
Manages to survive the round as well, and We are in the same boat as the last map. 5-0.
Pelan-pelan,
EG
Pak
running away
Supir.
with this. The early fights.
Ultinya si Rosa, aimingnya race sampai kiamat, bos.
The ult's starting to build up for FUT. Maybe there's something they can send into this round. A showstopper, orbital strike, a Viper's Pit for post. They
Aduh.
can get into a position.
Oh, nice. Langsung di snake
Through the
bites.
smoke early in the round, but just look how passively the defenders are. They know
hampir
what's
kena
online. They know the
tuh.
ults are available.
Hampir
They're not
kena
looking to get in those sort of
tuh.
fights.
Wah,
That
mati.
snake bite actually
Mati gak sih?
got very
Oh, enggak.
close to
Tipis.
cracks as the smoke
Tipis,
went
tipis.
down. That could have been bad. Kiwi even got tagged up down vulnerable. Now he's out with the showstopper in hand.
Oh,
Jogamo
nice.
again, able to take 2 before falling.
Nice, Jogamo,
the damage
nice.
done with Kiwi and cracks so very, very
Waduh.
low. And looks like Maj just joined the club. Sure, they've got the site, they've
Lit,
done
lit,
the damage.
lit, lit,
Viper's Pit, now that could be the difference maker for Maj. 56
3v2
HP,
Ethan,
staying alive
2
inside of
HP.
it will be a real challenge. He's managed to buy
Mati
himself a
dah.
bit of time, but there goes the orbital strike, and there goes the Viper's Pit. Cracks left on his
Oh,
own. With a
Demon
Sheriff in hand, he stands no
ngeri.
chance of taking down the Demon.
Ngeri,
That
ngeri,
is
ngeri.
Demon
Ah,
1.
6-0, bang, TO, bang. Bang, time out, bang.
Oh.
Bang.
How dare you? How dare you? Twitter's going to go wild at that one. Sorry,
Bang, time
X,
out, bang.
whatever it's called now.
People are going to be reposting that all day.
Yeah, they're going to be reposting that
They
everywhere.
call it now.
6-0. I was surprised. they
Bang,
used the
bang,
Viper's
time out,
Pit.
bang.
A bold call. I understand it.
Jogemo
Maybe
baru
starting
ulti
to feel
langsung
a
ulti
little
lagi.
bit
Kagak,
desperate.
itu ultinya
Jogemo as well. You
race
can just
sebelah.
see it. Every single fight he takes.
Itu ultinya race sebelah. Jogemo belum bisa ulti.
Might seem risky, but he's
Ah, ini
winning all of
Jogemo
them.
bisa ulti dikit lagi nih.
Again,
Wah, kagak
still
TO ini.
3 ults to play with.
6-0.
One for
Buset.
Com as well, that Viper's Pit. Maybe utilized to lock down showers. He's set up there at the beginning of the round, but I'm more interested in Demon 1. 6-0.
Bang, kalau ini kalah, timeout,
Still
bang.
yet to die.
Bang, kalau ini kalah timeout, bang ya.
With these risky pushes, he's even expecting the players on the other side.
Oh,
Timing, it's everything.
nice,
but finally,
Demon 1, nice.
he'll be put in the grave.
Dapat
Moj,
angle
not falling for
advantage
the
dia.
same tricks as the last round.
Yeah, holding the pixel angle and finally giving him his first death. Demon 1 dealt with in round 7. But there's plenty more facets to this squad, and Jogamo being right behind you is certainly one of them. He's got his way up behind the entire team. He spotted though. Cracks knew that he was there. Blast back good though. Throws off Maj's aim. And with some support from Boost, Theo's got running through the wall. They managed to drop the spike. Got some decent control. A flash coming in, an aid on the back of it.
my
And they're
goodness.
seizing control over this spike.
Gak ada
It's
yang
not gonna
jaga
be given up,
flank,
not today.
coy.
Even running through a nade.
Gak ada yang jaga flank, coy.
And a captain with a 1v2 to clutch out. Orbital strike online, but he's stunned up. 1 HP. And around
1
the
HP
corner he
at the
goes.
captain.
He's made it out. I'm going to post-plant orbital strike. Maybe he still has a chance.
1 HP and living the dream, boys.
Tagged by the Tiger. I thought he was dead to rights. Very nearly was. He'll get himself into an afterplant. It would be one hell of a way to
Post plan.
finally take themselves around, but he's up against Com. All reliable. Someone who has been
Post plan.
devastating to them in the first map, repositioning in towards the defender's spawn, just basically waiting as he wraps all the way back around. The fact is, time is not on the side of Com. He can't really take
Apakah
this
Com
one
akan
slow.
memenangkan
Strike
ini?
is going to buy a lot off the clock, and that's all that a captain is playing for. Just waiting those extra few seconds. He's going to get caught a little bit. He can't go anywhere near that snake bite, though. And now the time ticking so low. At a captain, he can't move. He's got to wait for at least a second, but the time is already gone.
Dapat
He'll be
6-1.
able to win it. The 1 HP Red Bull clutch.
Nice
And
try,
for
nice try, nice try.
Finally have a round.
1 HP and living the dream, boys.
Attaboy. I love these. They're great.
I had a captain. I don't know how he's gotten away with that one, but the first is on the board for FUT, coinciding with the first death of Demon 1. Jogamo put his back into that round.
Padahal udah bagus banget eksekusi Jogemo Bustio itu. Sayang Ethan gak bisa menangin
I'll
itu.
just go running in. I'll take the fight. I think we all felt that. Well, a timeout's been called by FUT after that round. Sure, they've got one up, but they're looking for a few more on this attack side.
Yeah, I think it's almost maybe just having to calm the heart rate of a few
Kalau
of the players.
11-1 gua ketawa sih.
Is not something you're going to see every single day, and it definitely wasn't a clean round The scarier thing as well is Tour de Force available, Showstopper as well for Jorgemar. Okay, it wasn't the most effective thing in the last round, but for now at least, for FUT, this needs to be the beginning of something and not just a straight reset back to round losses. As said, they lost that last map after an incredible comeback. And although I think no matter who they play, if they were to go into the cider, they'd probably be favorites. You don't want to leave that up to chance. A spot in the top 8 awaiting either of these teams for Evil Geniuses, an expectation for FUT. Hey, that would be a huge statement to make. The first Turkish team to do that in history.
Yeah, they're already accruing accolades game after game here at Champions. Still with that lower bracket backing them. Wouldn't be the end of their run. But imagine taking down Evil Geniuses, the #1 American seed, would be a huge accomplishment.
This is
ulti. Mr. Fallen's decided against it, but now they've seen the player close. It is going to go right back to that defaulted plan. And a lot of players caught up, but still Demon 1 is ready on this angle, and the shot, a rare miss for Demon 1. An opportunity for his opponents to capitalize on him with Ethan falling. They've just locked the defenders into hookah. B-side is theirs.
They know that there's a couple of players in here, but knowing and dealing with them is a different thing altogether. The problem
B-side
is
dah masuk B-side.
that no command online, the Tour de Force, isn't currently available. Cracks
Apakah ini turn point untuk turn pointnya FUT kah bang?
Nasty lurk.
2v5 bang.
Off Boostio. A chance for this clutch, a 2 versus 5. Looks slim, but the fact is the
2v5
finances on EG are not bad. They could risk throwing a couple of players in here, but they might just back away to hold on to the guns.
Well, that might not be too easy.
Waduh, Demon 1 ngebengong, Demon 1 bengong.
Ulti down, so too is the rifle. And the saving going to be very limited for the side of EG. This is a great response from FUT. I don't think it could have went much better in that round, especially Demon 1 having that whiff to start it off, missing the shot, then removing his ultimate altogether. That has certainly set them up for success. Timer ticking low towards the end of the round. Spike detonating as we speak, and they haven't found Kong. He's nestled his way into the bathroom. Rifle shall be carried through.
Yeah, a Prime Gaming flawless as well for FUT. The best possible way to actually break back into this one. Get the finances flowing once again. And as I said, for the other side of things, it's not really any problems. Demon 1 is going to invest back into that operator, so he'll have that for this round. Okay, light shields, but that's never really been a problem for anybody. And that Showstopper still sits online, and that's the difference. FUT over the last couple of rounds have had some ultimates to play with. The Nightfall, no command used in the prior round, and again, we're going to see the aggressive flash. I like the fact that you can see Adacaptain actively backing away at this stage. He does have the spike, though, so that might be the reason.
Yeah, don't think you're going to want to go swinging in there, especially when you'll expect Demon 1 to be around every corner at this point. He's been repositioning round after round. This time just sat on back B site. FUT maybe sensing it.
Adacaptain.
They're on their way to A. They've chosen the right site. It's lighter. The FUT setup from Maj going to allow them to creep up close. Not just the wall, but also the orb that's in play.
Ooh.
And well, Maj has just taken down Boostio. That's going to prompt
Boostio terculik.
Town. Move towards the spawn and play the retake with the rest of his squad, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Retake.
An early advantage. Potential showstopper for the retake, but utility has been used to hold them back a little longer. A couple of flashes still for Cracks. Unusual to see that this late into the round, so definite potential, but we are going to see the lamps being cleared. The timing doesn't work out, though.
Jogemo.
Kiwi ever crisp.
Sayang sekali.
Almost just having to look for exit frags. He's eventually given the fight, but
Demon
Kiwi
1
takes his head from his shoulders,
terdistract.
leaving just
Mati deh Ethan dah.
to stop
Oh,
this one being another
nice.
flawless. He will.
Nice.
But other than that, FUT, they have found their footing in this game, starting to build
Oh,
back
attack
in.
captain.
That's what it's all about on the attacking side, just finding your legs. They've done that.
Attack captain.
They've done it by finding Ethan too.
Oh,
although he'll be dropping out of captain, there's no one else to swing that corner.
6-3, apakah 9-3 lagi adik-adik? EG emang pasif ya? Enggak, tadi dia justru ngeras. Cuma mereka ganti planning kayaknya. Jadi nggak ngeras-ngeras lagi.
I mean, look, it could be an equalized half if things keep going this way. And you're seeing Kiwi with the confidence to swing in, take down Demon 1, not even with the operator. Certainly worrying times for this squad.
Yeah, and I think it has to be said that expectations for this map in general is that you're going to see the rounds on that defensive side, similarly to Pearl. So I think making sure that this ends up as like a minimum, a half victory, but more so edging towards that 8-4, maybe even a 9-3. That's what the goal will be at this stage. Again, Seekers online, but nothing really else available, and with a showstopper close for Kiwi and him starting to really get going. It's interesting what we're going to see actually invested here. It doesn't look like it's going to be a full buy. The Tour de Force not even close to being online. And actually, since Demon 1 being 6-0, it's been 3 deaths in a row. Maybe the difference, him not being able to get those early kills and potentially even Jorgamo cooling off a bit, which in the early rounds, he was the main devastating force for FUT, was that he just didn't seem to die in scenarios where he probably shouldn't have lived.
I mean, he's still sitting 12-6. You got to say, it's been a good half for him so far. Jorgamo, a little bit more maybe needed on this defensive side. With 3 rounds left to play for, they're not really competing in this one. Now, look, we've seen EG win rounds with this kind of a buy, with worse of a buy, so don't count them out by any means. But they're opting to put most of their resources into round 11. Maybe try to close this one out on an 8-4 half. It wouldn't be a bad score. We'll see. As we said, still potential for them in this one here. And even with Demon 1 on the Classic, you know that Headhunter is in play. Not right now for 4 seconds, but after that.
It's patient though from FUT. Not overextending, not giving anything away. And with those smokes, the brimmy smokes being burnt out over on that defensive side, they're basically just waiting, not wanting to get caught off. We've already seen the shenanigans of Boostio around this close position. Looking like just waiting to see if anybody will make a mistake. The Tiger going through, clearing out. It doesn't leave too many positions still available for them to be in, with the flashes going out long at the same time. Nice counter nade, but
halo Nat.
it's Jorgamo to take the majority of the damage. I think most of that was just off the Viper wall.
Tape yang FNATIC job lagu itu yang mana? Ada di Twitter FNATIC. Mending respect streamer atau jangan Finmat 2. Udah nggak usah lah, menangin aja 2-0.
With the wall still up, it's robbing them of info. EG might think that there's already players crept up on A, making their way in through the site, and well, they'd be right if that was where their minds went. Having fallen back a bit, Boostio sold that they're not still holding this angle, but Comp has got a spot of his own.
Oh my god!
Hasn't been spotted.
Oh my god!
He's tucked
it
away.
Was so good!
Not quite fully around the corner. Kiwi's able to deal with him, and it looks like that plant is going to come through eventually. It's not needed. With EG players flooding the site to deny the plant, they've instead lost the round. Or the spike can go down.
That is
nice try banget, nice try banget.
Just using the edge of his own poison orb up boosted on the top. That is not something I think any
nice
team
try.
will have been checking for. A nice little idea from Common. It almost wins them the round. Like the time was getting devastatingly close. If he's able to just survive a little bit longer, maybe even get back around the corner, this could have been a problem. And bear in mind how low the purchase was. They got rid of a showstopper. It's not bad. Like they burnt out a few weapons at that, although the finances of FUT are fantastic. And now they get that operator back into play, full purchase. See if they can now turn this into a round victory, because if FUT can even things up, they are definitely in the driver's seat.
So 2 rounds left to play for in the half. EG, as we said, are looking for that 8-round scoreline. They didn't fully buy up last round. They did some good damage, competed for the round, and even cost FUT some of their big ultimates, some of their utility. Now as we move into round number 11, this is where they look to capitalize on all the work done before. Very passive stance. A lot of this Sky utility from Ethan's being used to lock down control, even over Bathroom late into the round. We've seen the Tiger go through.
Apakah tercomeback 6-6 atau 8-4?
That might put a spanner in the works for the side of FUT. They wanted to sneak up and get close.
Gimana nih EG ini tiba-tiba nge-flop gini nih performance-nya nih.
Knife thrown over on A, they're going to be expecting.
Ini berarti FUT improve jauh dibandingin waktu Master. Karena waktu Master dia dibantai coy. 2-0 dan terbantai, dan ini mereka bisa bikin EG kesusahan gini.
Now Anna Captain has been able to get that orbital strike online. Molly into the corner. They could just try and clear this player out of the tube, but instead
Kom.
Go doubling back.
Kom sisa 35 coy.
Under pressure, just having to jump out of position. He can't
nice try.
quite correct the aim in time.
Nice try
They're gonna
banget.
get their entry, and Ada Captain is just tearing this side apart.
Mati
Kiwi's
Kom.
so aware of the flank coming through as well. It is meticulous
6-6 ini mah.
from FUT.
6-6 ini mah Iko lagi mereka. Force buy palingan.
Have been sublime over the last 5 rounds.
Yeah, you saw the idea to move towards B. They get spotted. They pump the brakes a moment. Not sure where they want to take it. And after that flash comes through, I think they were all aligned. They knew the game plan. The fact that Ada Captain is able to not just drop Demon 1 after his first kill, the ultimate putting him out of position on an uncomfortable angle, but even deliver with the fight towards the spawn. That's the big difference maker, and it's put EG on the back foot for the final round.
I think the thing to focus on as well is how Mr. Fallen and Cracks are constantly using their initiator utility to sell ideas. You'll see a knife land from the other side of the map. Prowler sent through one, but it's on a lurk, and then you just have Moj constantly placing in here. Nice work from Ethan though, and he does have some support. He doesn't even need it.
What the heck?
This man seems to be the master of the SMGs. It was the Stinger in the last map, the Spectre in this one, and after a 5-round streak, this is the best chance they've had. But Demon 1 will again go amiss as Mr. Fallen has managed to take him down.
But look at what the weaponry that EG have brought in. 2 judges that'll have to retake if they lose this B side. I mean, they've got to maintain control. Orbital strike in play. It's causing problems. Ethan's going to be dropped after the 1, but Cracks went down to the ulti. Boostio still holding strong on the side, buys them a little bit more time. And now it's those judges from before. The nade in a good position, but he can't follow through. It forces him out of the spot into the open. But that's not good enough with a judge in hand.
Kom nggak tahu dia udah muter.
Needs to swap that over. He knows where that player is coming from now at least, so the plant can be found.
Kom muter.
Oh. Sorry, I was going to say I like Com's idea to reposition down through long and grab one of the weapons. Instead, he is going all the way around.
Buset.
It's definitely the least expected of all of the options.
Wow.
I don't think there's any world where Mr. Fallen is watching back towards the spawn.
Wow.
This is the most 5-head play I think I've ever seen.
Wow.
There's no reason for Mr. Fallen to begin to check this, but it has come into his head that this could be the chance!
Ace!
I don't know how Mr. Fallen read that one, but it's the ace to bring this 6-6 on the half. The big brain IGL evening things up, and well,
dia muter
a
jauh
streak
loh.
back from either side.
Dia muter jauh loh.
At the break.
6-6 scoreline.
Oh my god, 4 ace hari ini, 4 ace.
In EG's favor, and now starting to slip away an ace even to close this one out. As we said, the judges on the retake.
Wah, sisa 2 HP, 1 hit lagi.
Even a classic in that final fight that leaves Mr. Fallen on 2
kena ace,
HP.
Potter pusing.
The narrow margin. But that's the margin by which FUT get back into this game, tie it up neck and neck, and now move on to their defense. I think the pressure is most certainly on EG.
We're going to be heading off to the desk, of course.
Gila, 6-6 coy, FUT coy. Coy, 6-6 coy. Gimana nih coy?
Well, thank you very much, guys. Bala, you alright? You good? That's how you feel right now about that game? Yeah? Well, let's take a look at the HyperX reflex real quick, because this was a certified jogger moment.
This was just so silly. It's not, I mean, that kill's fine. This one, right there, that's just dumb. And he almost gets the last one because he had gotten he got the nade back. He was able to bank it off the wall. Ultimately, I think it was stolen by, it was Boostio. Of course it was Boostio. But that, I mean, that shot on the second kill is just silly.
Just ridiculous. But after all this,
pala.
6-0 start is just crazy.
Sechel,
I'm just mad at that final round. We got an ace from Mr. Fallen, and y'all ain't cheering. What's wrong with that? That's crazy, actually.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I felt like we should have at least had the ace. And he got 3, 4, and even the 1v1.
Just
we didn't get it.
crowd. That's just crazy out here.
I didn't hear you chant either. Don't put this on them.
Yeah, that's true. And you've been one of the loud ones too. Actually, that's real talk.
Yeah. So you're slacking there, Bala. You're slacking. But you know who's not slacking? Kiwi. I feel like Jogomo on his side is doing his job, but Kiwi is turning up here as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, he's looked really good. You see it on your screen right now, and I mean, it hasn't been quite the Jogomo performance, but
pengen
Kiwi
FUT menang biar EG kena humble.
getting FUT back to the position that they're in right now.
Yeah, he has been, but the job
Ini
is
banyak
not
blundernya
done.
sih EG sih.
At the half FUT, if they want map 3, they gotta
Nah,
close
kita
it
lihat
out.
gimana
Mission's
caranya
on.
mereka
Let's see
menang.
if they can.
Siapa kayak akan menang di switching sides kedua ini, di halftime kedua. 6-6 cuy, lihat tuh, atas hijau, bawah merah. 6-0 ke 6-6, gak dikasih poin sampai situ.
So, let's see if EG can change things up, if their attack is where they'll find a lot more success. You never know. After what FUT just displayed for us there.
But that's the thing with EG. They've been very good at when they need to pick up the rounds, they do. We saw the streak back in the last map, and they still closed it out in overtime. The last round is what they took, and instead, FUT could be set up here for a 2-0 victory if they manage to close out that comeback. Instead, though, again, a tentative start from either side, patiently watching for any aggression, but it is, again, passive. Patient, Kiwi watching, Sheriff just trying to boom heads on the other side, and instantly all of the Viper utility goes up, the smokes raining down from above, and an attempted plant as the spam comes through, but it doesn't look like there'll be a denial this time.
Nope, no way to stop that spike from being planted. EG had some ideas to go aggressive afterwards, but they've fallen back into defaults. Nice crossfire to play with, Jogamo. First point of contact, and then the swings come in, but he went a little too wide. No one able to trade out on that FUT. Managed to find themselves a duel for free. Calm under pressure as well. Players starting to get close to him towards the back. Now another for FUT. As they desperately try to hold on to control, EG are just being pushed back. Hardly any damage being done by this squad as FUT steamroll in the pistol and find a 7.
They do have to get themselves the defusal, okay, you know, and Kiwi taking his time to go back and get himself that orb. Maybe surprised that he's the one who needs it, considering it's actually Moj to get the majority of the kills in that one. Well, having a little bit of fun
Flawless, boss, flawless.
A big start to this one. We've seen both teams
flawless,
on the defensive side claim
flawless.
the pistol, and considering a Prime Gaming flawless from a 5v5 retake, it's not something that really comes with high expectations. Something else that might be surprising as well, though, is that with that plant, even with no kills alongside it, EG may be looking to break this trend of 7 rounds a little bit early. They have invested heavily, even though you might see a classic onto Demon 1, that is all in on Headhunter bullets, and the rest have gone for those stingers.
Well, they're certainly grouping up, trying to use the numbers advantage to their favor, but they've lost Boostio to begin. Jogamo down to 45, still able to get 2! You've got to be joking! This guy running around, grabbing a heal, somehow not dealt with there, and then he's looking to fight. Long range with a stinger on Maj. Now low HP, pressured from every which side. Still somehow clinging on to life, but that doesn't last too much longer. EG, 7 rounds in a row they lost, and this is the one that they come out on top in. It's thanks to Jogamo, who had been quiet for a while. Well, that's certainly reawakened him.
Apakah OT lagi, guys?
Something that was beautifully brought up on the desk by Bala. It's the supportive flashbangs. The pop over the top here from Ethan that made those 2 of the freest kills for Jogamo. Sure, he still had to hit the shots, but when both of them are completely blind from a sky flash from above, there's just so little that they can do about it, and that trend is broken.
Ini map balas-balasan dari map 1 balas-balasan cuy. Tinggal siapa yang nge-whiff aja ntar pas OT.
Again, it's going to be the low investment coming out from FUT, a real chance to finally get themselves a lead in this
di-push sama
map, and instead now they're just getting mowed down, Com with a double. Not really a chance to retrieve any weaponry.
Udah deh. Waduh.
The close is just as clean.
Waduh.
Resounding response from the evil genius side. The attackers
EG marah bang, EG marah bang.
Interrupted the win streak of FUT.
Lihat siapa yang blunder aja ini mah. Yang blunder kalah
They've
udah.
got a full buy up on both sides. The EG squad might have some bonus material coming through, particularly Ethan just on that Spectre. They're going to be doing many of the same things that we saw from FUT, especially that Viper wall on A. It's just a key part. Nats was the first one to really bring it to the international stage. Everyone's been doing it since. That is ridiculous. Another tally.
Dia tahu langsung mau ngambil orb loh.
Was straight through the smoke.
Dia tahu mau ngambil orb itu.
Well, bear in mind that even though the finances are great for EG, this still somewhat works as a bonus. A few weaker weapons in play.
Precise banget lagi orbnya.
The risk taken to get the orb.
Through the smoke yang sangat precise.
Kiwi up
The hell? The hell is that, bro?
Something that you can definitely spam for. It's not going to be through a smoke, but it definitely could be through a wall.
Oh, Jogemo mau ulti nih. Nah, Jogemo mau ulti nih. Nah, kan?
Oh, the information seemingly there. It's in with a showstopper.
Nice. Seenggaknya dapat.
Not a bad trade though.
Seenggaknya dapat dua. Dapat dua. Itu nice banget meskipun mati.
They're behind.
At least kanannya clear gitu. Udah tinggal ngecek di drops dari Heaven aja.
Grouping up inside of lamps. That could cause major problems.
Apaan tuh?
Corner, it's trying to clear out players into the open.
Ayo lo.
Boostio to find that frag instead.
Waduh.
Flash, but somehow they're still on top of it. Cracks and Mr. Fallen, both finding kills. The spike now can be tapped to bait these players into the open. Ethan will be caught as the wall drops, but not eliminated. Even with a Spectre, he wins out that fight. And with 40 HP, Mr. Fallen surely is down and out of this round. Great damage,
tapi tetap dapat menang bom.
That one, unfortunately. He's been having a great few rounds, but it isn't quite enough. And again,
at least dia nge-save satu senjata lah, dan dia bikin ekonominya EG rusak. Kencana kayaknya. Ini sih, ini dajal sih Jogemo sih. Itu cuma bisa dilakukan sama Phantom adik-adik.
Coming through, the weaker weapons never a deterrent for players like Ethan, and now sat 9-7 in the lead. It's looking like maybe a bit of a hero rifle onto Mr. Fallen, obviously saved over from the last round, and in fact he's going to hand that off potentially to another teammate, maybe just allowing them to get the extra shields. For now at least it's
Malam live apa, Vin? Waduh.
What a shot by Demon One. Another as he follows up. And he's standing strong, baiting Kiwi in for more. 3 quick kills.
Bang Demon One ADS yang ngeri banget.
This one to bed, the crowd demanding an ace from this man.
Ace.
The other two opponents are on the right side. Maybe he's got a chance.
Absen kakak, absen.
The team are actually pushing in the other direction. It just depends if there is going to be that rotation for him, just a chance to fight into this one alone.
Udah bang, plan aja bang, B-nya bang.
Put them down,
semua
as
itu.
we've seen him do so many times before. A couple of players waiting, and he has the chance to fight them. There's the first on the battle, but it isn't going to be happening this time.
Ya, tidak
Captain takes him out, but he has made space for the rest of the team.
Plan udah clear itu B-nya.
Getting that plan, even farming up the extra orbs for the next round. It is methodical from EG, making sure that no stone is left unturned.
Bisa ulti
Boostio.
Udahlah, udah pasti saving lah ini mah.
There you go. Orbital strike.
Saving bang. Kamu abis ini miskin bang. Saving.
FUT certainly want to go for it. They've got the economy to
ya,
throw
10-7 adik-adik.
2 rifles retrieved. Earlier on, this was a Stinger
10-7 adik-adik.
So with these upgrades, they look to charge forward, see what damage they can deal, and right away it's Jogamo falling. Late flank from Calm. It's going to take quite a while. The plant spot not for it. Molly over already, and that orbital strike might be needed to close out this round, especially if the kills keep going this way. The swing through, and yeah, look, it's being set up. They're going to cost them an ulti already, which, look, it's better than it looked like it could be for this squad. They've even dropped Boostio on the way back out. The time ultimately too far gone, but the damage considerable.
Yeah, but that's been the main talking point of this second half, damage. Like there hasn't really been much else so far for FUT. They were put down very early in this round by some of the cleanest shots you're ever going to see.
Absen kan, absen.
Oh, the crowd's a little mixed on that one. Oh, we love to see it. Demon One certainly getting his confidence back. 14-9 right now. You've seen him with a far more convincing scorelines for himself. Maybe you can praise FUT for how well they've avoided him at times, but yeah, certainly not in that last round. And maybe not in this one. But Tour de Force online and looking for some victims early on.
Yeah, this is a scary round. Already hyper-aggressive. Seekers have been thrown through. It looks like they're just executing directly off the back of it! In the end, drop down from above. Death reigns onto FUT in this round. And with a Molotov burning them out, this round is already looking over. 2 players remain once again. Moj and Cracks in a similar position to what we saw in the last round. Do they even go for this? It looks like they're attempting it while hiding within. He actually survived.
Just about. Yeah, 7 HP, but that might deter you
GG,
from going
bang.
for this any further.
GG bang,
The
GG
Viper's
bang.
pit down. Well,
Ngeflop
it's
dia
online.
di
It's not gonna
attacker
go down
dia.
in this round though. Not with that low
Ngeflop di
HP.
defender salah.
Cracks has to open this one wide.
Waduh, sakit
open
juga
for the
tuh.
squad, and he's caught Ethan. Okay, now there's an actual chance. They've seen the barrel in the
2v1.
corner. Even one is down, and Calm miles away. They'll get this half before he even emerges around the corner. That's an easy kill onto the planter. Just 1 HP. A fight now baited, but Calm, he is biding all the time they need.
Oh my god.
EG with another, and it's
Oh
a
my
Red Bull
God.
clutch for Calm.
Oh my goodness, Jesus Christ, what the hell is happening, man?
Whenever you at least expect him to be, that's where
EG,
he always turns up. Never stays static for too long.
Wow.
He's so good at just switching up his position. You
Jesus
can see the players
Christ.
were watching back towards Hooker, expecting him to still be in that
Joget
position.
mo lo.
Exactly where you should expect him to be. But always repositioning, always playing the time. He's the exact man you want in those sort of clutch situations. And FUT, well, a last attempt to try and slow this one down. They have lost 5 rounds in a row, exactly the same as what we saw in the last half. It was 6 in a row before
guys,
they
siap-siap
really
pulang, guys,
got
ya.
going. The problem is they'll be
Siap-siap
fighting
pulang
for
ke lower
overtime if
bracket.
it gets to that
Ah,
position
kata
again.
FUT, ya elah kalah lagi gua.
Looking at Jogamo in this map, and
Udah mulai
certainly
lelah
the
kayaknya
previous
FUT ini.
round, you know, guy wasn't exactly playing the same role on the previous map. He couldn't do some of these
Little bit
flashy
different.
things. Yeah, the Astra slightly more, I guess, nerfing to a player than what you're going to see from that Raze. And
TO baru sekarang, iya kan 6-0.
It's 11-7, 4 rounds in the lead. And one thing that EG don't have
TG 2-0 aja ngantuk kata Devin. Iya udah nggak usah OT-OT-an dah, langsung aja 13. 13-7 udah guys.
Themselves a Viper's Pit as well and a null command. So in a good spot in that regard.
Kayaknya kalau nggak salah ini sama skornya kayak waktu Master dah.
Even at times where Jogamo has that showstopper, you'll see him fire it into a wall, damage himself.
Ini kalau sampai 13-7 skornya sama kayak waktu Master. Waktu Master kan mereka ketemu.
Here we go though. But still have a purchase, some ults to play with, but just look at the sheer pace, just leading
Oh my
the way
god,
with the judge.
Jogemo.
It's got to be infuriating.
Pasti Moj kaget
Not
itu.
the start that they were looking for, but they've at least
Untung
got
di
rid of him.
backup
I guess that's the silver lining.
di
The
lemsnya
man
loh
who's been
sama
causing so many
si
issues is
ini loh.
in this round.
Q-Rex
A lot
loh.
of information garnered as well. The knife connecting onto multiple players. You can see the jump spot out towards long as well. Maybe spotting for any lurkers, any rotation back. But again, EG is what they love to do on the attack. Just pausing, stopping for a moment before re-aggressing.
It's the
MC
Tigers that
clear.
gets them back out there to try and take some control. They've spotted Cracks.
Oh,
Viper's Pit,
nice.
that's going to cut off, well, not fully cut off
That's
the
a
spawn
very
rotations,
nice,
but certainly it's a big
a
annoyance
very
to
nice
them.
Viper's
With
Pit.
the safety now around Lamps, it's a great spot to play from if they can get this spike planted. Now, that is a different task altogether, with FUT potentially having utility just like that to push them back. And they even have that showstopper later on if needed. 35 seconds. And again, they're waiting for a mistake to be made on the side of FUT. So far, that's not coming through. 30 seconds. They've got to move onto the site. Boostio can't get them the space they need. And now they look elsewhere, getting out through the teleporter and leaving the Viper's Pit to fall. FUT will have a 4 versus 2 retake, but there's no way to deny this plant.
No, that's at least something. Viper's Pit, of course, gone, expended on the other side, and this is definitely one of the best scenarios. Normally, Calm expected to be lurking back, but with no util, they're going to double up here. Know that they're a little closer on these angles, and just lurker missed a fall, and it should be for free. Somehow Calm still managing to find one, looking for a little bit more, and they may have been low on health.
11-8.
But FUT will live to fight another day.
Nice.
Defusal coming through, a lot
Nice try.
expended in this round for the Turkish side, but they will get themselves to 8, and maybe, just maybe, this can be the start of the build back.
That was a ton of damage done, but I like the idea on the way back through. Kiwi was like 39 health. Showstopper come around the corner, you probably don't even get a chance to see them, let alone readjust and fire. So instead just uses the blast pack to push out his teammates a little bit, get Atticapped in a wider angle and triple peek it in a way where you just don't line up. I like to see that. Oh, I didn't see that for Jolgamo. He's playing anti-flash on the way through.
I know, he jumped backwards to kill Moj. I think he jumped over his head and then shot him.
Well, got taken down after. Look, this is, it's a hiccup for EG. These kind of rounds are going to happen now. It's their real chance. Jolgamo on the corner right away with the blast pack. They've denied them any B long control. They're going to just use the Tiger just in case somebody snuck back around that corner. And with that, they've got control over the orb, which is exactly what you want when Jolgamo is one away from a showstopper. That's what I thought. But actually, they're just looking straight towards the site. Get that orb from a fight. Jolgamo's being consistent with it so far.
Jadi beli jersey TRX. Jadi kok udah beli, tinggal tunggu dikirim aja.
And low HP, Jolgamo on 5. The nade has hunted him down.
Yeah, Demon One's able to duck out of there, but the other players are left stuck around. Con's going to be spammed out through the wall as well, and now, well, we saw a crispy 3K earlier. He's going to need to find himself for 50 seconds left. He's got time to play with, waiting for that Viper screen to fade. But there's still so much left to find. They know he's still around this angle. Look at to peek him all together.
Apakah comeback lagi, ya Allah?
Will be able to continue this climb back once again. And now, actually, the money's run out for EG.
Yes, time to penny pinch. This is the round where they've got their showstopper. Can't see them committing it. See just how close that was to the double up, but yeah, well, the nade was there after the 2 kills. You're in a pretty comfortable spot. 2 behind. It's been an incredible matchup for FUT so far. They've been hot on the heels of EG, but that's the story of the game. They've been behind, only barely taking the lead going into Pearl, and, well, weren't able to close it out. You gotta hope it won't be the same story this time around. Pistols.
Same in this one as well. Take the lead from the pistol, instantly lose the second. They've
right away
had their hands ever so close to a map, but there's still a very real possibility that this could end up as a 2-0. We've already seen these sort of rounds work well for the side of EG, the SMGs. And the second, Jolgamo is actually going to use that showstopper, but denied immediately. The null command will remove the one real threat that was in this round, but there is still going to be that afterplan.
That's the thing, you know, EG have been scary in these post plants. Even with pistols, you got to give them a chance. Jolgamo not able to use his ultimate and will eventually go down. The rest of the squad now, you got to wonder what else do they have. And
line up.
That committed right now. The orbital strike
line up.
And the showstopper used in a round they didn't fully invest into rifles for. They've got a molly for the post plant. Mr. Fallen goes down. He didn't get it half. That's a key detail because now FUT gonna really feel the pressure of that clock. Up close, Cracks is dealt with. Another for Boostio. The same molly and the snake bite down makes it so easy. They've done it.
GG, Thrifty. Line up-nya bagus banget dari Boostio. Line up Boostio bagus banget, ya Allah.
Unbelievable.
Bagus banget, nge-backup di short terus ada yang di bedroom. Oh my god. Bagus banget line up-nya.
Time was perfect. The Molotov, the orbital strike, you had the snake bites, the orb, everything combined, and then the shots connected by Boostio. It is understandable the frustration on the side of FUT's coach, because realistically this was the chance for them to finally get themselves back close to their opponents.
Langsung di ulti
now they're close to a 2-0 defeat. A shotgun, a Viper's Pit used, that works, and an operator for Kiwi, but this is still not a good spot for them to be in.
Jolgamo bersinar.
To put you in this position once again, but not having to win out one round to push up to an overtime.
Jolgamo udah bersinar, Vandal champion 2023-nya, guys.
3 in a row against a squad of EG. They've done it with pistols moments ago. A showstopper used, got them nothing. An orbital strike delayed a matter of seconds. And it didn't even come down to the time in the end. For EG.
GG,
this
guys,
is a promising position.
GG.
Through. clearing out all of this space. And
Wah, keculik Kiwi.
That might just have sealed their fate because now they should go rotating, drifting towards that other
Nice
side.
banget. Wah. Wah. Jogemo big brain. Jogemo big brain banget. Jogemo big brain banget. Disecel biar kedetek di wallbang. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh udah GG. Udah GG. GG udah. GG. GG. Gila EG. Oh my goodness.
I thought for a second there was a chance here, but FUT falter at the last hurdle, 13-9 and 15-13.
Bro, I'm not even joking. That's a big brain moment,
They're looking
man.
incredible all tournament long. And
Itu
now
big
they've got
brain
some time to
banget.
prepare. That's the
Bumbotnya
scariest thing. Give
disecel
these guys a couple
biar
days to get
jatuh.
better. I don't know what we're
Terus
gonna see.
nabrak box, muter balik, ngedetect Viper di bredet langsung. FUT nggak bisa balas dendam dari Master. Masih ada lower bracket dia bisa balas dendam di playoff. Tapi EG sih. Wah.
This time out, FUT were competitive. They like last time around there was a blowout map and a close
Hebat
one.
EG.
This time both
Hebat EG,
seemed
hebat.
like they could go either way. The Turkish team with fight left.
Gila hebat banget, hebat banget.
Looking forward to seeing
Gustio Jogemo, Ethan Com, Demon One. Oh my
That
goodness.
last map, Jogamo and the Rays. What a treat it was to watch. Even that last round, like you said, the little blast pack boom bot combo, wall bang headshot.
Iya, tapi FUT udah bagus banget, men. FUT udah bisa bikin EG jadi kayak harus try hard gitu loh. Tapi EG sih strong contender sih.
But a new level hit here, and I gotta say, for FUT, yeah, they put their best foot forward, but now it's on to the lower bracket.
I think the thing that's so good about
Udah, matchnya udah selesai.
you can pick plays and pick utility being used by
Matchnya udah selesai. Udah selesai. Hari ini 3 match hari ini. Dan udah selesai semua matchnya. Jadi DRX masuk ke playoff. EG masuk ke playoff. Besok kita bakal ngelihat FNATIC lawan Blibli Gaming. Siapa yang masuk ke playoff? Dan besok PRX lawan Crew. Terus Edward Gaming lawan Giants sama FNATIC lawan Blibli Gaming. Alright, saatnya gue tidur lagi. Terima kasih semuanya yang udah nonton. Kita berjumpa lagi nanti malam, mana gue bakalan memulai Sabeton. Jadi I'll see you guys again tonight. Oke? Makasih yang udah nonton. Jangan lupa kasih like, share, subscribe, dan join membership. I'll see you guys again 7 PM today. Yep. Stay safe, healthy, and stay at home. Love you all, Nation. Cheers guys, and bye. Thank you semuanya. Good night. Good night. Good morning. Have a great day. Peace out. Bam.